in a world of remakes and remasters.
Are we playing for
What was once sacred and cool has now soured and become lame. Gone are the days of Pogs and Cowabunga. Now is the reign of slurp juice and dabs. Kids these days don't even know how bad they've got it. Now it's up to the best generation to rise to the occasion and make a show that dares to go where a lot of other nerdy shows have already gone quite a bit. That's right. They're going to talk about it a lot.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is Best Gen, where nerds complain about nerdy things, and it's called Best Gen because all of us on the panel are más o menos from the same generation, and we happen to think that it's the best one. Not because we're better than you, but our movies and entertainment certainly were. So strap on in and prepare to wax nostalgic as we reminisce upon the days of yore, while simultaneously complaining about the utter filth that keeps getting pumped out of Hollywood's sludge pipes on a daily basis. How's everybody doing tonight?
Oh, good and bad.
Well,
Had a
got bad internet,
rough
but-
day today. A lot of yard work, and I got a bee sting on my finger here. See how swollen that is? I cannot bend it past that.
David got a
But it's
boo-boo,
great.
everybody.
Because I didn't do any of my homework this week, so I didn't have to watch any bad television.
Wow. There was a lot of homework this week, too.
There
because
was.
Andor's dropping 3 entire episodes. And
I don't have a way to watch that. I don't have Disney Plus anymore, so
yeah, I couldn't watch
and I
Andor
look
either.
for it places.
Army hearty, sail the high seas.
Yeah, I looked on the high seas.
Not very hard. What are you talking about? You didn't have a way.
That's season 1.
Hmm.
I got a bee sting. I don't want to go sailing.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I guess it's going to be a short show today.
No, I don't mind spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't either. I still haven't seen the first season of Andor.
Yeah. Honestly, nothing to spoil.
Yeah.
We'll get into it. There we go. The goal wouldn't go through. Now we got a super chat goal. I was in fact sitting on my wife. That's why the stream is late.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever slipped up unintentionally and said that. I've made that joke on a couple of sketches. I can't remember which one was it. A nerd? I don't know. What? I've made that exact joke. Anyway, point of the story is we've got Albelio on the stream.
Hey.
Hello.
Yeah. Who was just raking me over the coals over not pronouncing his name correctly the first time I ever interacted with him. And I would contend that the only thing I got wrong was the accent.
I have no idea.
Isn't that-
I thought you did just fine.
I said Albaleo the first time.
Oh yeah.
That's
Albaleo.
that's pretty good. Anyway.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Not everyone is going to be able to talk about it, but there's 3 episodes of Andor season 2. There's no more Wheel of Time, but don't worry, we'll talk about the Wheel of Time. And there's Sinners, which is doing really well in theaters, and I still haven't watched last week's episode of Doctor Who, so we're not talking about that. And what am I missing? There's it's on the thumbnail.
Last of
Oh,
Us.
yeah.
The jujitsu class that was The Last of Us.
Yeah.
The Last of Us. Oh, and also Daredevil, which I haven't. I did start watching the last
Dang.
2 episodes.
If we're
and
not talking about Doctor Who, that's one of the few things I did watch.
I fell asleep.
You can give us a quick
Daredevil.
synopsis of what you thought, Charles.
Of the Doctor Who or Last of Us?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I've heard this is the 3rd episode, and for some reason, Russell T Davies decided to make a sequel to Midnight.
Wait,
Is that one from Peter Capaldi?
No, Midnight is David Tennant, the monster that takes over, that copies you and then catches up and then takes over your personality.
I remember that. Yeah.
Except he changed
really good one-off.
He changed everything about it, and now they just hide inside your body. That's what I've heard. And also, the Doctor cried again. It's been every single episode.
3.
What? Charles?
I didn't watch episode 3. It hasn't come out for me yet.
Well,
can you hear me all right?
Last week you had already watched the episode. And
I'd seen 2. I'd seen episode 2.
You already talked about episode 2 last week.
Yeah, so that's why I'm confused. I thought the show was canceled.
No. You guys are doing the confusing, not me.
No, you're right. I was confused because last time the episode dropped an hour before the stream and I was able to watch it. But I was checking this all day to see if the episode was going to come out so I could watch it in preparation for the stream, and nothing. I have not seen it.
Charles was just complaining he had no way to watch Doctor Who, and it's on the same platform as Andor. Or he was complaining he couldn't watch Andor. It's on the same platform that Doctor Who's on.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't realize.
I think he just outed himself.
I sail the high seas.
Okay. We got a $4.99 from Mark Clark. Don't do it. I assume that's in reference to the super chat goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what is the super chat goal?
It's a surprise. And another $4.99 from Mark Clark. Thank you so much. Your dream. Okay. So I
noticed the goal is 10 super chats instead of.
Well, I had to raise the bar. It's a pretty big goal. I sent Mark a message to remind me about my dream so I wouldn't forget about telling you last night's dream because it's hilarious. It was a fever dream, and it's great. So apparently all of my family, like extended family included, went to go visit Mark Clark's family for Christmas, except that Mark Clark lived in New York, and we went to a Broadway play. And then we went and we were staying at his house because apparently you live in a mansion with like 100 bedrooms, and you had bedrooms for all of us.
You're holding out on us.
Mark, I'm telling you, this dream was so trippy, okay? And here's the story. It was one of those embarrassment dreams where you do something wrong and you're trying to fix it the whole time. I kid you not, this was the plot of my dream. Someone showed me to the restroom, and there was like a dividing wall between like the restroom and the other space in the restroom, and I got confused and I pooped in the hamper instead of on the toilet, okay? Because someone told me that was the toilet. So I did my business, and then I opened the wall and saw the real toilet, and it was in your mom's bedroom. And so but I only realized like after the fact, like I had to go do something after that. And so the whole trip was me trying to find an excuse to leave the party so that I could go clean up my mess before your mom found out.
Wow.
Okay. And it gets weirder. It gets even better. Okay.
Is this a single parent household? Is that why she has to do the laundry and
I don't
now at the same time?
You know how dreams, like half of the details just aren't there. You know, I don't know if Mark Clark didn't have a dad or if it was passed in this situation. Okay. But Mark's his dad was not in the picture. Okay. I met 3 of his brothers, and they were all Bostonian. They all were talking in that accent, you know.
Oh.
And I kept coming up with excuses to leave the party, and then as I would leave, I would get sidetracked with another mission because we were doing this thing where we had to. This is going to sound like a different thing. We left all of our phones in a basket outside the front door. It's not a swinger party. It's just we wanted to be present in the moment. And I walked outside,
Oh my.
and someone was stealing our phones. There were 2 people stealing our phones, so I had to run them down. They jumped in their car, and I jumped on and was tackling the lady who was stealing our phones. And she pulled out a machete and started swinging it at me. And I grabbed the machete and like pinned her with it, and then grabbed the phones, and then and I jumped off, and they crashed into a tree. And then as I was walking back to the house, another person tried to steal one of the other phones that was left in the basket, and I pulled out my gun and threatened him, and he gave me the phone. And then I distinctly remembering in the dream, wait, why didn't I use my gun earlier?
You're breaking down your own continuity in your dream.
Interesting.
It was a wild dream, and the most unbelievable part of the whole thing was there was someone else there, and Mark Clark will be very happy to know that it was Sydney Sweeney because they were dating. Mark Clark pulled Sydney Sweeney in my dreams.
In his dreams too.
Boy.
So there you go.
That
There's
is
the story.
A pretty epic dream.
Wow.
I'm never letting you use my bath. Look, I was trying to fix the problem, okay? I was. Yes, Mark Clark is
That's
amazing.
funny.
There we go. He's a lucky man.
Yep.
Okay.
Although
so-
now, every time you bring up Sydney Sweeney from now on, we can just say in your dreams.
It's Mark Clark's girlfriend.
Yeah.
See, now, oh, there you go, Joshua. Now he has to let me use his bathroom. Oh, so
There
the
you
reason
go.
I found out, so I did my business, and then I came out, and then someone said, "Here, let me throw all these clothes in the hamper," and then they threw it on top of my business, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm in trouble!" And it was a whole series of hijinks of me just trying to. It was horrible. It was a horrible dream. But anyway,
Wow.
so movies are important. Albelio's never coming back on the show, and
I only stuck it out this long because Sydney Sweeney.
Yep. Good call.
So, I guess we don't have much to talk about Doctor Who because I didn't see it. I guess none of us saw the 3rd episode.
no, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen
I
the
love
second
how
episode either.
you said you can give us a synopsis of how you felt about the episode, and you haven't even watched it yet. So,
Well, yeah.
You already did that
I
last
forgot
week.
that I talked
Okay,
about the second episode
That's okay.
last time.
There is one article on Doctor Who. We will come back. We're going to talk about Predator Badlands. I've seen the pictures. I have not watched the trailer. I haven't seen
The trailer's rough.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I saw the picture of like the DEI Predator. That just it does not look intimidating at all. Hey, no grape in Doctor Who. Yeah.
wait,
Well.
they race swapped the Predator?
No, they just made it
No.
look retarded. So
No,
It is
it's
what it
it's
is.
like it's I don't know what Dan Trachtenberg was thinking, but he basically decided, you know what? If autism is a superpower in The Predator, I'm going to show that my power is autism. And then he made these 2 movies that are coming out, and they both look terrible.
Wow.
yeah. Oh, I guess the other big drop is that there was a character that had that was a robot from the Alien universe.
Yes,
It had like the Wayland is it Wayland Institution? No, it's
Wayland Yutani.
Wayland. Yeah, they had the W eyes. So they're setting up Alien vs Predator. So
Those
I've
screenshots
only
look
seen
bad.
the
Wow.
first Predator movie, which is fantastic. I need to do my homework, right? I should watch the other ones. But I've only seen that one, and I've seen Alien versus Predator, which was horrible.
You know, the funny thing is, you say that, but you're gonna see one or two of the other Predator movies and think, huh, AVP wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It was good enough to get
I
an
know people
AVP too,
I know
right?
people like the second one, and no, I did see the autism one, because it was Shane Black, and I thought it was going to be good, and I was pretty disappointed with that.
Yeah, to just kind of like rough it real fast. It's like 1 is amazing, 2
Yeah.
is fine. It's nowhere near as good, but it's fine.
It's more
Predators,
campy.
yeah, Predators. It's also way more violent for no good reason. Predators is a mixed bag.
Is that the one with Adrian Brody in it?
Yes.
Okay.
Then there's the Predator, which is the autism one. That one is irredeemable.
And Michael Key.
Yeah.
Keegan Michael.
Yeah, and then there's Prey, which is an
Right.
overrated movie.
Right. Which is a Predator, but with Native Americans. So I didn't mind Predators, Joshua Templeton. Yeah, it's a mixed bag. Some people minded it, some people didn't.
It's a mixed bag.
Yeah, I've seen all of the Alien movies, and I like most of them. So we had a big argument about the newest Alien movie last time El Elliott was on, or maybe it was 2 times ago.
Yeah, something like that. Did you happen to catch? I don't, obviously not to argue. Did you happen to catch the video I posted a little while ago about that? That the director the director for Fede Alvarez, the guy who directed Romulus, he confirmed that Ripley was in fact on the Renaissance Station. I lost my mind.
Okay, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't watched. Joshua has not watched Prey yet. I haven't either. Join the club. You haven't seen the one after Prometheus. Yeah, that one's disappointing.
Covenant.
I'm a Prometheus defender. There are things in it that's dumb, but I enjoyed that one. And I know that is not the appropriate opinion to have. You're glad Sydney Sweeney wasn't in Alien Romulus. Yeah. The Alien TV show is going to be interesting. Predators Badlands is...
Aliens Earth or whatever.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense because they've never been on Earth. That was the whole thing.
They're always were supposed to have made it eventually to Earth.
Well, after Alien Resurrection,
later.
Everyone was excited that they were going to be on Earth. And now there's a prequel series where they're on Earth. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Alien Earth. When does it take place in the timeline?
It's a
prequel. It doesn't make sense.
To all of them.
Oh, I thought you meant to Resurrection. Oh, no.
No, Resurrection is the furthest down the timeline, and it ends with them crash landing on Earth.
Yeah, I remember.
And everyone's like, oh, we're finally going to get them on Earth because this has never happened before. And now we're getting a prequel series where they're on Earth. Whatever.
That hurts my soul.
Yep, it's weird.
Yeah. But, no, I didn't catch that video. I watched your Sinners video. Oh. And Jared's in the house.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Thought I've missed the last couple ones.
Oh, gosh, your audio is grating.
It's okay. I'm turning it down. It's okay.
Okay.
Don't change your audio. I'm changing it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just watched the teaser trailer for the new Predator Badlands, and it looks pretty goofy.
Who's your vote still?
Yeah, my chat last night brought up a good point that I had also observed, which he called it Predator Star Wars, and I said it looked like Badlands got the Marvel treatment because it's way too clean and rubbery.
Yeah.
This is the picture everyone's mad about.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous. Oh.
Well, okay, never mind.
Got your pop-ups.
Just that one.
Yeah.
Looks pretty silly. So
Yeah, there's
It's
no
the eyes
detail.
and the hair thing on the top instead of coming out the sides.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no detail in the dreadlocks. There are no quills in the eyebrows or the or any of the other detail. Like you look at the side, if you could find the side by side of like the original, look at that difference.
yeah,
Looks so much more real.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Like we have the science. Why? I don't think he looked terrible in Prey either. I don't hate that.
Yeah. It's a different look, but
I like this better,
yeah.
but this is it's silly.
Yeah, that looks way too like a human. I don't know. It feels more like a person. That one, rather than
Yeah,
just a
maybe,
monster.
maybe that's it. It's the head. The head is too small and just human proportioned aside from the jaw thing. That's part of it too. You're right.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the close up there on if you scroll back up just a little bit, middle, just underneath the orange poster.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, that's a better
That
close
original
up of
one?
it. Yeah, so like the quills on the eyebrow going up the head, the detail in the head going up, the base of the dreadlocks, even the dreadlocks themselves have a little bit of texture to them going down, whereas the ones in the Badlands Predator are just it's just rubber tubing.
Yeah.
It looks so rough.
Oh, okay. I get the joke, Joshua. Alien Earth is about a woman and her quirky mercenaries that are tasked with hunting aliens. Yeah, they really have not switched up the formula.
Yeah.
They gave them the weapons from Rebel Moon. Well, I wouldn't know. Okay. So there's that. There's quite a bit of news. There's the David, you sent me a screen rant about the Fantastic Four thing.
I don't remember what it says off the top of my head.
It's saying that having the female Silver Surfer is better than having the regular one. I haven't read it, but I'm just gonna assume that this one is
Screen rants. Bad takes.
just gonna
Yes.
assume that stinger applies
It absolutely does apply, and I bet you can guess why.
because it's a bad take.
No, why they think it's better.
Why they think it's better? Because women are better than men,
Yeah, that's it.
right?
Really?
Because
Is that what they said?
The
That's
female
essentially it,
silver,
yeah.
the female
They said-
Silver Surfer was in 4 comics.
Yeah. Well, she had. I think that's a standalone comic. She was in other ones too with Silver Surfer. She's always appeared.
She's always
alongside
been the Silver Surfer's wife. Yes,
Right. And
Yeah.
So basically, what happens in the comics is Silver Surfer, the original guy, her husband, goes off. She's like the queen of their planet or something, and he goes off to be the Herald of Galactus to protect their planet from being destroyed.
to save their planet. Yeah,
to save the planet, right? So he makes that heroic sacrifice. It's like, okay, I'm going to help Galactus eat these other planets, and I'm going to protect my home planet, where my wife is like the queen of this whole planet or whatever. And they said, oh, it's going to be so much more better and complex because she has to leave her people to go and protect her planet. And
so it's exactly the same.
exactly the same, except she's female.
Except that she's a female, and that makes it better.
There's no difference. But there's like
Right.
just having her instead of him is just going to be more complex and more awe-inspiring. And
Okay, she was originally right. Okay, so how does changing that make it better? Because
she's no longer in the kitchen.
she's a more compelling it's more compelling to have a female Jesus.
that's all it comes down to.
Yeah.
They do not give a valid
you need
argument.
you need a reason.
Better.
For me, I just think it looks weird. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no,
Right.
her smile is awful.
Yeah.
It's
That and her whole head. Her whole
okay,
head just looks
but this
weird.
doesn't make it better
Yeah.
unless you are sexist.
Yeah.
Unless you
That's
admit
right.
that female is better than male, then that is the only way that
Right.
it can
That's
be.
That's
called
what they're
being.
doing.
That's called
Sexist.
being sexist. That's the very thing that
Yeah.
they accuse us of being. Yes.
I have a
100%, yeah.
theory about about how this is all going to go with the movie.
Poorly.
Well, yes, that's
Okay.
absolutely true. But I think that it's going to be one of two things. It's either going, well, it's most likely going to be that there will be some nonsense about Shala Ball missing that she isn't able to have a kid, or she relates in some way to Sue Storm. And because Sue is pregnant, somehow Frederick Richards, I believe, is because he's the one who can change. He can change reality. So I think what's going to happen is Sue, Shala, and the baby are going to like stop Galactus, or they're going to like shift over to the MCU's primary timeline. Something like that's going to happen. And they're going to connect because Sue is pregnant and Shala is just like, "Oh, I wish I had a baby." That's
Well,
basically my big theory.
See, that would actually not be a terrible plot line. And I don't think they're going to go that way because Hollywood is anti
Yeah.
baby.
I don't think they're shifting
Anti-family.
I don't think they're shifting any of these characters over to the main MCU, because I don't think that's the plan for Avengers Endgame, or not Endgame. Sorry, Avengers Doomsday. I thought that that's what they were going to start doing with Deadpool and Wolverine. I thought that movie was going to end with them in the
Right.
MCU, and it doesn't. And now it's kind of clear what they're doing. They're going to do, what's it called? Not War World. They're going to change. They're going to.
Secret
It's
Wars.
going to be. It's still going to be. Yeah, it's the plot of Secret Wars, but it's the. They're going to change like that nothing into Battle World. That's the word I was looking
Right.
for.
That's Secret Wars.
They're going to do Battle World, and it's going to be multiversal crap, and it's not going to be interesting. So
Yeah, probably.
that was the whole setup with Brave New World. Was you think you're the only the end credits for that with the Brain Boy was you think you're the only people with heroes. How are you going to protect your world against other heroes? Yeah.
They did Secret Invasion.
It's Secret Invasion is different from Secret Wars.
Secret Wars is where everyone gets kidnapped basically and put on a battle world to fight it out gladiator style for the galaxy's amusement,
Yeah.
kind of.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's where
Well-
Spider-Man gets his symbiote suit.
Right. Well, this movie was supposed to be called Secret Wars, and then they changed it to Doomsday.
Oh, I thought they were still doing Secret Wars, but it was
Or maybe
gonna be
Secret Wars is
pushed
the next
down.
one?
There's
I
two
don't know.
Avengers. There's Secret Wars and Doomsday. They're two separate movies.
What was it called before then? Oh, it was a King Dynasty. That's what. That was
Yeah,
called.
right. That's the one
Yeah.
that's
Oh
canceled.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then he did some domestic violence.
Yep.
So
Don't do domestic violence, kids.
Dungeon Crawler Carl, like that's essentially
Yeah.
what it is. Except it's multiple universes, not just planets. So,
Yep.
it's silly. Multiverse stuff is not engaging to me. I've never found it interesting.
It's not interesting anymore. It just
Yeah. They've done it several times.
I think
Yeah.
Doctor Who handled it pretty well. It was like just a one-off thing that's saying, "Oh, you have to like, burn an entire star in order to cross the multiverse once or something." I don't know. I thought Doctor Who handled multiverse kind of well.
Right, because it wasn't infinite.
Right.
It was
You're right,
One,
it was a
one
single-
parallel universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If
yeah.
you limit the
That was-
scope, it can be interesting. Yeah. Anyway, so Here we go. Albelio. We got to talk about Sinners, which you said in your video you liked, and again, I like the movie too. I had a really fun time in theaters. The movie has massive problems. I think I agreed with everything you said in your video, which everyone should go watch.
Yeah,
But
I never watched the movie, but I did watch Albilio's video
This is,
before this.
this was my biggest contention with the movie, is that the marketing surrounding it was all this. It was 100 people saying this. There's one scene in the movie that makes it worth watching. It's I heard people saying it's like there is a scene that's almost as cool as Avengers Endgame, everybody showing up to fight at the end. Like it's almost as impact. Yes, no, I know. That's why I was confused. They're like, it's almost as impactful as Avengers Endgame. Everybody shows up at the end. Right.
Yeah, I let me preface. I went into this movie knowing literally nothing about it. Up until the trailer. I don't remember what I watched. There was a movie I went to see that had a trailer in it about Sinners, and I was like, "Oh, Michael B. Jordan, I'm there."
Yeah.
And then I couldn't tell if these were demons or vampires. I didn't know, and then I went in like totally blind because no one else I know has seen it. You know, even like Drinker and Nerdrotic haven't seen it. So,
I knew that it was about vampires, and that there was one scene in the movie that everyone was just creaming over. Okay, and it's just that one scene that's transcendent. It's so. This is funny though. What's the Challengers scene that blew everyone away when she bangs two guys?
Oh, that's the one with Zendaya and the.
Yeah. I haven't watched it, so I don't know. Like, was there a scene that everyone
I thought you meant
about?
the rocket ship. I was going to tell you what blew.
Good one. This is a good zinger. And I know
Yeah.
you misinterpreted that statement on purpose for the joke, and I appreciate it. Oppenheimer, when the bomb goes off, it's pretty great.
You blew that one too.
I've seen Parasite, and I don't know if there's like one scene that defines that movie. It's a good movie, but I don't know what they're talking about here with like, that one part of the movie, like the whole thing was good.
I have never seen Parasite, but after seeing Mickey 17, I'm not interested.
Parasite's pretty good.
So
this is the scene that they're talking about that blew everyone's minds.
Okay.
Look, it's a good scene, or at least it starts off good, and then makes a choice that immediately pulled me out. I liked Sinners. I enjoyed my time in the theater. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And this scene, I can tell you everything about it. It's not going to spoil the movie for you, okay? They did some really interesting things with vampire lore, okay? They kind of melded it with like some traditional like African folk stuff, okay? Where you have these bards. I can't remember. They weren't called bards, right? You had these bards in history who were so transcendent that they could fuse the physical world and the spiritual world. Okay, and
the music was so good. The music was so good that it transcended time through the veil.
Yes.
So the main vampire.
So it would call spirits from the past and from the future to sing with you, and it was. That also attracted vampires.
So the main vampire, Ramek, he wants to turn Sammy, the guy holding the guitar there, into a vampire because Sammy is so good at playing the blues that transcending time, that it's this big over the top way of saying his music is timeless, basically.
Yeah.
And because like that really is just what it is. It's a really interesting
but it's
way.
cool. Like it's some cool lore stuff, and they did some interesting stuff with the vampires too. Okay, but the point of this scene is he starts playing the blues, and it turns into kind of a trippy scene where like spirits from the past start showing up. And so it turns into a dance party, and you see like a traditional African dancer like dancing next to him or playing like drums next to him, you know? And then it pulls spirits from the future, and this like electric
Jimmy-
guitar.
Yeah, it's like Jimi Hendrix.
He looked so ridiculous though. I was like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like this future guitar guy because he just looked silly. Okay, and then it goes on, and it's just got a whole bunch of people mixed in, and it's a cool scene. It's a one take, and it rotates around the room and travels throughout the whole room, and just shows people dancing. It's a really good scene. And then the second part that pulled me out of it is it pulls another spirit from the future, and it's just a big black lady twerking. And I was like, look,
Wait,
Oh,
it cut
no.
out. It's a
Look,
big black
look.
what?
a big
Big-
black
Of
lady
course, everyone comes
twerking-
back when he says twerking fat
twerking
Yeah.
into the camera, and I was like, look, you don't have to be proud about all of your culture.
Yeah.
Okay, like there are some blemishes in America's past that I'm not proud of. Okay, the Trail of Tears, probably too many tears. Okay, like
4 years.
I'm not proud of slavery in the United States, okay? I'm proud that we got rid of it, okay? But to show that the music was so transcendent and timeless that it included
Cardi
twerking
B.
was immediately just like,
Wow.
okay, this scene was really, really cool. And I forgave the first speed bump of the weird guy because it's a spirit from the future. He's supposed to look weird. And then twerking, and this is something we're celebrating. And I was like, okay, I was on board. I'm
Yeah.
out.
Someone needs to do a montage and just put Cardi B and She-Hulk in there in that scene.
Oh, he didn't even talk about the
That's a good one.
Chinese dancer that jumped in there for some reason.
Oh yeah. Like it wasn't just Black history. Because one of the characters two of the characters were Chinese, so there were some Chinese dancers that jumped in, and that was fine. There was some multicultural stuff. It wasn't all black stuff. Okay. It was a bizarre choice, and definitely wasn't an Avengers Endgame level scene, which isn't even a movie I like. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that scene. I think
Mark
that is
Clark
a
for
good
another
scene.
$4.99. Secret Wars has the Beyonder kidnap heroes and villains into a world where they fight to the death.
Yep.
It wasn't a multiverse story, but they kidnapped them from different multiverses.
I don't think so in the first one.
Well, it included the ultimate Marvel universe. Oh, if you're talking about the first one, yeah. The second one was multiverse.
I think that was the second one that had
Okay.
Miles Morales and
Yeah, again, there
Peter
was more than
Parker.
one of them. Yeah, the Spider-Verse thing is part of...
Spider-Verse is different, but yeah, another one. That's a multiversal crossover. But yeah, I think the original...
David's timeline, both future and past, is just I'm a Barbie girl on repeat. Is that what we're saying? Yeah.
All right.
Again, it was a cool scene, but like, this is what we're praising? It was just bizarre to me. It was so bizarre. I was so confused. That was peak cinema.
Well, look at how many people also looked at a movie like Black Panther and thought this is peak cinema
Well, you
because
can't-
we're
Yeah.
seeing
But you
African
can't
culture that
criticize.
makes no sense and is totally backwards in a high-tech society, but we're going to elect our leader through Mortal Kombat. It's like, all right. I don't see how this is a good idea, but sure.
The plot to Black Panther is horrible, but I enjoyed it for its visuals and a lot of like the spiritual stuff they did. That was fun.
Yeah.
But the movie.
You don't mean
it's not
the
good.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers CGI, if that's what you're talking
No,
about.
no,
No,
like
but I mean like the
flower
the
and
dream sequence
yeah.
stuff. Like
Oh yeah, sure,
that
sure.
was some cool stuff. I like that, and I like
Yeah.
I like seeing African culture stuff, but exactly
Yeah, like
seeing
the
it
graffiti
melded,
on the walls.
seeing their ancient practices mixed with future technology did not work.
Yeah. No, I thought that part was fine. It was just the story and the CGI was lackluster.
Life
Yeah.
is fantastic when you are plastic. Okay.
That's fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
We were talking about the second one. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, that's the problem. They just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
But Sinners was fun. I had a
Yeah.
lot of fun. It has a
Yeah.
lot of problems.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't think it deserves all of the praise that it's getting. I think it's absolutely worth watching. You said you don't need to see it in theaters. You can wait till it's on streaming.
Yeah.
and-
I have
and
no problem if people want to support it, but
Yeah.
no, this is not the second coming of Christ, people.
I'm glad
Let's
it's
calm down.
I'm glad it's performing well. I don't have anything against it, but like it is overhyped.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would push back on the theater thing a little bit. Obviously, you can wait, but my thing with theaters in general is you go to the theater to see action movies, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that this is a bad movie to see in theaters. I saw it in the theater, and it was Sinners. We're discussing Sinners. Ryan Coogler's vampire movie, black vampire movie. Sorry, the vampires aren't black. It's a black movie with vampires in it. And then some of the black people turn into vampires. So there are black vampires. It's confusing. I know.
Yeah, if it was good thing it's not it wasn't done in the modern day. Otherwise, it would be from the streets to the jail.
It's okay. What was the point? Right. I don't think it's a bad movie to see in theaters. I don't go to see like Pixar movies in theaters. I think that's very silly. Any animated film, I don't know why you would watch that in a theater. That's one you can watch at home.
Picking your kids. But
But yeah, no, I'm gonna go see Mission Impossible in the theater.
Right.
I'm not gonna go see a rom-com in the theater.
You want the big screen, the surround sound. That's
So.
perfect for action movies.
Yeah.
Critics are loving it. I think it's a good movie. I probably like it more than Abelio does. Definitely has problems, and nothing that and everything you mentioned in your video is a problem that the movie has. The biggest one, I'd say, is the inconsistency with the sunlight.
Yeah.
The first scene with the initial vampire who starts all the problems, he's walking in the sun and he's steaming like it's burning him, but he's not dead. And spoilers, that's how he dies at the end of the movie is the sunrise instantly kills him.
Well, no, because he gets instantly ganked from behind because Michael B. Jordan manages to sneak past like 36 vampires and into the river.
Right. But it wasn't he wasn't staked through the heart. He got stabbed and then sunlight.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
I will say that whole scene would have been a lot cooler, especially because it was the preacher's son, right? I was waiting for him to bless the water the whole time. I was like, that's how they're going to do it, because they're all going to come to kill him, and he's going to bless. They're standing in a lake, in a bog. He's going to He's going to turn the whole thing into holy water, and they're all going to burn. And then it was just, oops, we stayed out too late. Sorry. That was silly. That was really silly.
The way that for anybody who hasn't seen it or the video I posted, basically the first like 2/3 of the movie are pretty solid, and it's like there's too much detail added to everything.
Too much. He could use an editor. He's got the same problem as Brandon Sanderson right now. He's so famous
Nobody
that
wants to
no
tell him
one will correct him. You know, no one wants to touch his genius, and he needs an editor. He could have trimmed out at least 30 minutes of the film. too many like the backstory stuff is all good. Like it's all good the world building is fantastic. The character growth, the character backstories, they're all really good. It's just there's too much of it.
Yeah, like the slim character.
It's fun.
As I emphasized, like he didn't have to give his backstory 2 or 3 times throughout the whole movie. We like just one and done. That's all we needed. You know, like the comparison is From Dusk Till Dawn, obviously, and many of these characters, their backstories are a paragraph or less, and you're just like, oh, cool. This is an interesting guy, like Sex Machine or the Vietnam vet. I forget his name.
They're all good characters. It's. It does feel like a Tarantino movie that had no self-control, no trim. They didn't trim any of the fat, and there's fat in the movie. But it is fun. The first like third of the movie is like a Blues Brothers. We're getting the band back together. And then the second chunk is like a slow build to oh no, this is going to go bad, and then this last chunk is it goes bad, plus like a couple Lord of the Rings, Return of the King endings that could have easily been integrated to the rest of the film.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see why. Like, I get it. Coogler wants to have his big, this is to my people kind of scene, like when Smoke at the end of the movie literally smokes the whole of the clan that comes to get rid of all of them.
And see, I didn't even mind because the film is set, in in the South.
1932 Mississippi.
Yeah, it's set during the big racism. Okay, I don't mind that the KKK is in the story. Okay, it's completely disconnected from the rest of the plot. It's handled in an after post credits scene. Which your contention was that could have been resolved. They could have brought them in earlier and had them show up at night.
Yeah,
and involved with the vampire plot. I also had another way of solving the problem is if he wanted to have that plot separate, the way he can connect it is he could have left some vampires inside the barn. Not kill them all.
Yeah.
Leave them in the barn,
afterward.
have the KKK come in and all get turned into vampires, and then but they don't know what they're doing, and then he burns it down, and then they all burn down with the sunlight. Like that would have been pretty awesome.
Yeah, that would suffice too. It's
he burns himself down with the barn too, seeing his visions of his wife. That could have been great.
Yeah, Coogler has this bad issue of he has too many ideas and then he forgets to get to the point, but he doesn't want to cut things out.
Yeah,
because if the KKK if the Klan had just shown up in the middle of the night and got slaughtered by the vampires, they could have killed the Klan there and been like, oh great, now we have more vampires to deal with. It's just like ignoring the fact that they're actually Klan members, but now they have guns and you have to deal with this.
Kill the KKK twice.
Exactly.
Have them get killed by the vampires and then have to hunt down racist vampires.
That would have been fun.
There would be a great. There could be a scene though, like one of the KKK guys gets turned into a vampire, and he goes to turn a black guy, and he's like, "Oh, I don't like. Do we have any white meat?
It would not that I'm not one for blaspheming, but it would be really funny if, as the dude is a vampire, he gets he gets
shot
and stuck to a cross,
he's stuck to a cross,
and he lights the cross on fire,
stuck to one of his own crosses.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's great. That's fantastic.
Because the Klan just has crosses to burn.
If you're that's what I loved about
Brother, where art thou?
Black Mass.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass, not Black Mass. That's a gangster movie. Midnight Mass,
so good.
Is church and vampires, and it made a connection that I'd never seen before. That's so obvious that once you see it, you're like, wait, how come no one has ever made this connection before? And it uses some parallel imagery really, really well. And they could have done the exact same thing here with KKK and vampires, and they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
They both use crosses.
Good point.
Yeah, it's just one of Kugler's issues. He needs to learn how to condense and integrate instead of segregate.
I do. Michael Blee would make a great Blade. I think he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
His performance in the movie is fantastic. He has 2 roles with the 2 twins. Everyone's performance in the movie is phenomenal. The lady, the white lady, what's her face? She's a Hawkeye 2.
Yeah, she's the daughter. That one threw me off. She's Kate Bishop.
Kate Bishop. She's great. Who's the other? The new guy, who is his first movie. He was introduced in this movie. The musician, he was fantastic. I loved the Chinese lady. That's the best part of the movie. Is I won't spoil that, but her big moment in the movie is perfect. I loved it.
They really needed to play more with the taunting because
Yes.
the ability of the vampires. So for anybody who doesn't know, the vampires and sinners, when they feed on their victim, they gain all of their knowledge and memories. So Ramek, the main vampire, who's Irish, didn't even necessarily like bite her husband, and he can just speak fluent Mandarin.
They're like MLM vampires, right?
Yeah.
So if you bite 3 of your friends, and then 3 of your friends bite 3 of their friends, you can learn Mandarin and Chinese. But yeah, that wasn't. I liked that, and it wasn't explored enough. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
The South in the 30s, Jim Crow South. That's the word I was looking for earlier. The big racism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Good
I
old
don't.
Kim Dro.
I don't mind at all. Like, I think it's totally appropriate to have KKK involved in the plot. But if you're going to do it, involve them in the plot rather than tack them on at the end. It was pretty bizarre. I think it's a fun movie. I think you should see it. I think it's bizarre that it's just being universally praised as a perfect film. I'm happy it's making money, and it's making a lot of money.
That's over projecting.
Last I looked, it didn't even break its budget, though.
Oh no, it has.
It broke the budget. Yeah.
Yeah, its budget was $90 million. It's made that back purely domestically. Right. So it's definitely broken even by now.
Oh, it's going to lose a lot even now, though.
It has one of the lowest second week drops in modern history. It has a really, really strong second week. It's almost going to make the same amount of money the second week that it did the first week.
It picked up the second week.
So
yeah, I think a lot of the hype was around King of Kings for Easter, which is why I think Sinners went under the radar for the first weekend. Because when I was doing my research, because like I said earlier, I didn't know anything about this movie going in. So like I got a comment where someone was like, "That's wrong," and it's totally okay. And I was like, I didn't know anything about this movie.
Yeah.
But it's got a budget of $90 million, which means they're going to have to hit 180 to break even.
Yeah.
And at 120, they better hope that they maintain this rate of
they will
decrease. Otherwise, they won't make.
Look at the box office percentages. It dropped like 10 to 15 to 30%, and then it picked up. 117%
well, that's
increase.
Day to day. That's a Wednesday to a Thursday. So that's the daily percentage. So this is a 30% drop from the previous. Oh no, so this is Friday. This is Thursday to Friday. There's a 30% drop from Friday to Friday, but the daily numbers are harder to gauge. You want to wait till the weekend is over, and you can see the drop from weekend to weekend. But it's projected to drop 10%, which is pretty good.
Yeah, if it only drops 10% from this point, then it would have to maintain that rate for the next 3 weeks in order to make money. Otherwise, this is going to lose somewhere between 10 to 20.
Well, it depends on how much they spent on advertising.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Which,
generally, you can
I
double. You
hadn't
can
seen
double
any-
at minimum.
Yeah.
So that's why I think 180 is what they have to shoot for. Even
Yeah.
in, I know there's like a 15 to, it's something like 15 to 25 mil is what you can take off as a tax write off. So like realistically, it's probably somewhere around like 155, maybe 160 is what it has to hit before it would be considered a break even.
Yeah.
Assuming that it ends at that point, of course.
It is the best performing what's the term for it? Original movie in the last like 10 years.
Oh wow. Okay.
It's
It was
because there
also-
haven't been a lot of original.
It was
movies.
also pretty expensive though. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
so I'm just saying like not a sequel, not part of a franchise.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to make money for sure, but I think word of mouth is pretty strong on it.
Oh,
Even if
undoubtedly.
some of it is
Undoubtedly.
quite undeserved. I think it's going to do really well.
I think so too. I think it's gonna have legs.
You know what's going to do fantastic though? Animal Farm with Seth Rogen.
Oh no.
Wow.
Okay.
And a bunch of other liberals.
Jim Parsons too. Is this the? This can't be the Stephen King Animal Farm, right? This is different.
No. This is
It
Animal
looks
Farm. This is
George
Animal Farm.
Orwell.
Animal Farm. But I'm taking bets right now. What's the over/under on Animal Farm being a critique of capitalism?
Yeah.
Oh, 100% it's going to
I
be.
could easily see them shoehorning that in there.
You know,
Um,
I came on here because I like you.
Uh-huh.
And then you just ruined my day.
You're welcome. Can we, for the love of Pope Francis, can we not have Seth Rogen anymore? Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I think they're absolutely gonna get it wrong, and they're gonna be critiquing capitalism.
Yep.
Because they get it wrong now when they complain about capitalism. When people say late stage capitalism, and then they start listing the bad things that they hate about late stage capitalism, the things that they list, that they itemize, that they enumerate, are just communism. But they think that that's what capitalism is.
Yeah.
The reason our economy sucks right now is because we haven't had a free market capitalism for a very, very long time.
Yeah, something like 80 plus years at least.
Yeah. I'd say, almost a century
Large
of,
chunk of the issue.
of crony capitalism, which is another word for communism. So, read The Naked Communist. I can't
They
say
just
it
can't. They
enough.
can't admit it because realistically, it's just the centralization of power and thus the corruption, which is exactly what communism is. It's a couple steps forward of capitalism because the power is already centralized to the government as well as the levers and mechanism of the economy. But they don't want to admit that because they can't admit it.
Yeah.
We've got a wild Corwin in the chat commending us for our great stream, probably because I mentioned communism. And it's good to talk to you, man. I hung out with your mom and dad all day. So
You didn't shit in their hamper, did you?
no, I spent the entire day at convention for the Republican Party National
Oh, neat.
Organizational Convention as a delegate elect, which you may all refer to me as. I'm an elected official. Elected to elect other officials. That's all I get to do. My only power, is to choose who we elect.
Yep.
Yeah, she sent you a picture because we took a picture, baby. Everyone I voted for lost, so.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. That I mean, I like Andy Serkis, and there's some other great names on here, but
I love Andy Serkis. What was the last good thing he did, though?
I thought he was good in season 1 of Andor.
Okay, he was good in that.
He did.
What did he direct?
I don't know what he directed.
Live action Jungle Book.
He directed that? No, that was
Oh no! Sorry, he did the other one. He did the one that went to Netflix,
right?
Which was Book of the Jungle or some off-brand thing. You know?
He directed
Mowgli.
Venom. Let There Be Carnage. I have no faith in this.
He directed Venom.
I didn't realize.
Let There Be Carnage.
The second one.
Let there be capitalism, baby.
He did some good acting though. He did.
Yeah, but he's directing.
The Planet of the Apes, he was really good in. But
he's directing.
Yeah, directing. I don't know. What else?
Sorry, there's something caught in my throat.
He did Breathe, Ruins of the Empires, Mowgli, Legend of the Jungle.
That's the one.
And Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
And he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought this was a joke. They're doing Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum.
No, that's a real.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
Yep.
The Hunt for Gollum.
I did hear that
Under
just
a
got
rock.
delayed though, so it's probably canceled. They're going to do the thing where they just keep pushing it back until it never gets made.
Development hell.
No, because they do this a lot. They'll announce, this is what Star Wars has been doing for 10 years. They'll announce a project just to see if people are excited about it, and then gauge the reaction. Okay, no, we're not going to do that one. So,
Yeah.
What happened to the Daisy Ridley sequel? It's gone. What happened to the what's his face trilogy? The Last Jedi guy, Ryan Johnson trilogy. It's gone.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and remember how D&D from Game of Thrones were supposed to have a series of movies too?
They were going to have a Star Wars movie. Not Kathleen Kennedy. Patty Jenkins had a Star Wars movie too.
Oh,
and then she released Wonder Woman 2, and then they're like, oh boy.
Yep.
Same thing happened with D&D. They saw season 8 and went, oh no.
Same thing happened with Winds of Winter. Season 8 came out, and they're like, oh boy.
Yeah, and didn't War of the Rohirrim tank in the box office?
Yes.
Yeah, so like I don't,
great.
Especially after the the catastrophic failure that was season 2 of Rings of Piss. I don't imagine anyone's like ready to go with anything Lord of the Rings right now.
Yeah.
They haven't pushed back the Strider spinoff though, so I mean that's probably going to get canceled too. But
there's a spinoff for Aragorn.
There's an Aragorn spinoff, yes.
Oh,
so look forward to that. $1.99 for Mark Clark. So you're a DEI again? I'm not. No, I was not elected for the color of my skin. I am a delegate elected by my precinct, which is my neighbors, people that I have to spend time with, and they elected me because they like me. Or, well, most of them are like 80 years old, and they wanted someone young to go to convention. We still talking about Michael B? No, not anymore. I don't know where you've been. You saw him at Planned Parenthood? Great show. Cool. The man is really handsome. All right, you want me to stop reading this comment, David? Okay, I'll stop. Charles, this happens every single time.
He would make a very good blade.
I think he would make a great one.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm trying to think of other black actors that are young enough to like start a role like that. Michael B. Jordan would be good. I don't know if Denzel's.
I don't know why. I just thought of Morgan Freeman saying the quote. Some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate uphill.
I don't know if Denzel's kid would be a good Blade. What's his name? Michael David Washington or something like
I don't
that.
know.
Oh, I didn't know his kid was into acting.
Tenet.
You know what they're probably going to get is that who's that pretentious actor in that is completely a stone wall in
Tracy Morgan.
in Silo.
They're going to get Common.
We're
going to get Common as Blade.
Yeah, that would be awful, man. He can't emote, man. He just
delegate elect incumbent.
No
yes,
emotion.
I'm a 2-timer delegate elect.
Yeah.
Never say. I was making a joke. Yeah. Yeah. Animal Farm. I think it's a 90% chance it's going to be about capitalism, and it's going to be horrible and ruin my day.
I have a real worry about that.
None of us watched this episode, so I don't know how to talk about this, but Russell T. Davies is a hack.
Yeah.
And is monetizing the haters.
That has to do with episode 2.
It's episode 2.
I sent that one to you.
Rip Doctor Who. Oh.
Didn't they do that the same thing in season 1 of this rebooted one with?
Yes.
He was reading some.
So Charles, what is this talking about?
It's just it's if you haven't seen episode 2, they have an incredibly weird, bizarre meta scene where the Doctor steps out of the TV and talks to Whovians. He meets fans of the show, and they're just telling him, "Hey, you're a character in a show." And then they're like, "Oh, just kidding, that wasn't real." And it was so weird.
Oh.
Okay, Charles. For future reference, when we say, "Can you give us a quick update on the episode?" That might be something you want to mention in the future.
I don't remember talking about it last week.
No, he said, "Hey, was there anything noteworthy to talk about in the episode?" You said, "Oh, it wasn't very good." You could have mentioned he steps out of the TV and talks to real-world fans.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff.
That would have been something to bring up, Charles.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that was bizarre. There was a lot of things. I don't remember talking about it last week because I have a whole thing of notes here that I didn't touch on.
We didn't because you said there was nothing to talk about, and we moved on.
Fair enough. Yeah, no. If you have the time, I guess watch the scene. It's a really dumb scene. It's very bizarre. Like, okay. So he's fighting against the god of light, I think. I forget exactly what it is, but he's the god of light.
Because the show is no longer about. Because the show is no longer a science fiction. It's just a fantasy show now.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But the god of light takes form of a cartoon character, and he's trapping some people in films, and then the Doctor gets trapped in a film.
Okay, I take it back. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Yeah, it's really dumb. But basically, Russell T. Davies, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna."
Oof.
It's been a while since I've read the article, but it was in reference to that scene where the Whovians were talking to the Doctor and talking about how the season isn't as good as it used to be.
We don't have episode 3's numbers yet, but This is the episode 2 was the worst performing, the worst viewed episode in its 60-year history.
Oh my gosh! It's literally like a Cuphead cartoon that comes out of the TV. That's the villain.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, Martina,
Makes no sense.
you do need to watch the beginning of the stream where I talk about pooping at Mark Clark's house. It was pretty great.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Yeah, Doctor Who hates all the orphans in the world. There you go. And I got the reference. You didn't need to specify. Yeah, I hate Doctor Who. It's so gross. The Last of Us. Did anybody watch The Last of Us?
season episode 2. Yeah,
Just that.
I did.
But Forbes is saying that The Last of Us has an Abby problem. Oh, this is Eric. This is like the only smart person at Forbes, right? Yeah, we've
what's he
read
saying?
we've read this. We've read articles from this guy before.
Well, what's his concern? Because I actually liked it. I liked the. So here's the thing. From what I've noticed so far, I know that you guys might have bashed on it a little bit last time, but like, it's actually so far it's been kind of close to the games. So like,
right. And I think the games are trash.
Yeah, the problem is that everyone, like, hands down, the fans were united in hating the second game when it came out until the TV show started, and everybody's like, "Oh, good, you guys remember Last of Us Part 2 was like the best game ever." Like, everybody hated it. Everybody hated it.
Well, that's this.
Where is this girl with the long hair? Is this supposed to be Abby?
Yes, this is Abby.
It is.
Wait,
and she would be a much better Ellie.
It definitely would. Yeah,
I agree on that.
She would make a fantastic
where's her realistic female body.
They decided to make her more pretty in the TV show.
Wow, that's so misogynist.
Because I don't think they could find a woman who looked like that, who was real.
I sent you. I think I sent you a link, Alan.
That was last week. Yeah,
that's my fan cast for Abby.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you texted it to me. There's a YouTuber who just does like outdoor lumberjack stuff, and she's ripped. She looked kind of like Abby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. She's more attractive.
Of course,
than
everyone
Abby
knows
in-
who I'm talking about.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Goodness gracious, your timelines are sick.
But no, I agree. I definitely think she would be a much better Ellie, especially right now. Like after the time being passed, like she looks like she could be
Right.
You know,
How they said it's like
5
5
years
years later,
Yeah.
and Ellie hasn't aged at all, and she still looks like a 12-year-old with Down syndrome.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She still looks really young.
But this is infuriating, right? Like, oh no, the show's being review bombed. You mean you took a show that was notoriously divisive? Okay, some people liked it, some people passionately hated it, and you did the same thing and are surprised?
Yeah.
Like, this is not review bombing. This is just reviewing.
Yep. Also, I have to say though, I was wrong in my prediction that they were going to stretch this out because
we all
heard that
thought
they were going to get a season 3
because they just announced, hey, we're going to do a
Right.
season 3, and now no one's going to watch it.
I thought for sure they were going to make us all hate Joel, or supposedly hate Joel, because they're making him into a Trumper, not letting the immigrants into their camp and everything like that. And you're just
This
gonna
is
make
the
him
only
despicable,
thing,
you know?
That
the
really the
only
angle
thing
they're
that
doing.
you have left to promote your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, just awful.
No.
Awful.
Um,
I was gonna say because this episode.
Did Mark send you this?
yes, Mark did send me this.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Jared, you missed the story too. You gotta listen to the poop story.
Oh.
Sydney
Sure.
Sweeney is in it. Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so you said that's at the first of the stream?
What?
That was at the first of the stream.
That's at the very beginning.
Okay, all right. I'll have to watch it.
No, that's not a nipple. It's an artifact of. That's not a real picture. It's an AI artifact. It's supposed to be a tear in her shirt, but it's flesh colored. It does kind of.
I think we all, as a community, need to examine this image again.
Look,
dear.
YouTube. This is not a nip.
Oh goodness! I didn't even notice that.
If that's a nip, we've got problems.
Yeah,
That's not what they look like.
Stream is not going to be monetized. Oh,
Wow.
I gotta get my girl. Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't show you the headline.
I know, I'm like that.
So she was on Vogue, and no one saw a problem with this headline. Okay, Bella Ramsey, a star for now.
Just for now. Just momentarily.
wow.
They're obviously trying to say a star for now.
Yeah, for
Right.
today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. Oh man.
But is Vogue based?
Wow.
I think so.
Where's the other
Yeah.
half of you? It's lost in her
Yeah,
forehead.
it's like a single pixel line.
Yeah, it's the
Well,
Yeah.
same. It's the same with the N, right? The N's got these like ghost lines.
That's
and
a V.
the V. Sorry.
Yeah.
The V, right.
Not
I
It
just
just
can't
looks
tell.
like
No.
looks like /06LE.
The lighting
Yeah.
isn't helping at all. Also, the subject matter isn't helping.
Yeah,
But,
it's,
you know.
it's
Yeah.
not, it's not hard to get lost in that forehead.
Did Bella do the cover herself?
Yeah.
I wanted to ask Alan because the thumbnail for the stream. Did you edit Bella Ramsey's face at all? Her face seems abnormally small
I did.
in the
What are you
thumbnail.
accusing, Charles? What are you accusing me of?
I don't know. Her just
That I would
her
go
picture
in.
on your thumbnail.
That I
very
would
weird.
stick a Bella Ramsey photo on the thumbnail and manipulate her face with the liquefy tool in Photoshop so that her face is smaller in proportion to the rest of her head. I would never do anything like that, Charles.
This is sounding oddly specific.
Because that's what I did for my video, and the picture that I have on this stream I actually took from someone else doing the same thing. So
I suppose the question to ask here is: does she have any blood relation to Charlie Kirk?
Now I can't unsee. Why would
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I
Okay,
love that they
look-
meme his
look-
face
look-
smaller too. It's so
okay.
funny.
Oh no.
I ruined your day with Animal Farm, so I'll let this one slide.
You're welcome.
I would. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Would Charlie Cook be better? No, I'm sorry. I breathed into my hand. No,
Oh, okay. It sounded like you
because
should.
I was looking at Charlie Kirk. Would he be a better casting for Ellie than
Yes.
Bella Ramsey?
I would watch the heck out of that show, baby.
It would have made
He,
the,
at least he would not be as nearly intolerable as she is.
it
every
would have
time-
made the jujitsu scene a lot more believable.
Right.
That's true.
And he just
Oh,
makes
yeah.
every time the zombies show up, he just like now, okay. He just talks to them, you know, and they just fall over and die.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining a ton of
Destroying
the
zombies.
clickers or whatever just chasing him down at a TPUSA event on a college campus.
Yeah.
He's just running away. He's like, "Are you pro-life?"
That's good.
She does look like Charlie Kirk.
Man.
A little bit in the eyes and nose. I think.
You got
Mouth is different.
Dude, you could advertise this stream on her forehead.
Well,
There's so much
yeah.
billboard space.
That's funny.
Wow.
Anyway, well,
Oh wow.
new episode tomorrow. What's the rest of the story about? Ellie hunting down and then deciding not to kill Abby. That's the rest of the story.
I guess.
Yep.
Man,
And also having a kid
don't
with
know what
the other
season
girl.
3 is supposed to be about.
Maybe
Look, literally any like
They're gonna do a
Abby,
season
the
3?
the actress for Abby would be a better
Yeah.
Ellie. Ellie's girlfriend would be a better Ellie.
I actually like
100% she
I
would
like
be.
her casting. To be
Yeah.
honest, I think she's good as.
that's good.
Well, because she's a good
I
actress.
think the show, yeah,
Yeah.
the show
Here's the thing.
has sort of good casting, except for Ellie
The-
and Abby. It could be better.
here's the thing.
And Joel.
The production value of the show is fantastic. The writing is garbage. Okay, it looks great. To actually dissect the content of the episode. If you guys watched my video, I only addressed the ending and the stupid things there. But
Yeah.
it's not a terrible episode. I think that their defense tactics are really stupid.
I agree.
And,
I agree.
and they easily could have defended the city, no problem, without zombies getting in. But people are dumb. Whatever.
It's a
wasn't
stereotype for
nearly as
zombie.
It wasn't nearly as offensive as the last night, right? As the White Walker.
Well,
fight
but
back.
you got to realize too, like they don't have a limited amount of resources.
Yeah, no, exactly. I have problems with their defense, but it wasn't like so egregious this could never happen. The
and
problems that I have with the episode is that some of the writing was very lazy, and some of it it was really unclear what they were trying to do. Like there's a moment in the scene where they're on the wall and he sees all of the zombies like shift, like oh no, they're going to a different part of the wall, like there had been a breach in a different location, and he jumps down off. He runs over to the other side of the wall, and what he sees there is the big boy. There's a big zombie boy running up to the wall, and then he, instead of trying to shoot him down, like in the Two Towers, and instead of saying concentrate your arrows, take down the big boy. I don't know what they're called. I haven't played the game. Okay. Instead of saying
Like a brute or a charger or something like that.
take down the big boy, he gets off the wall, abandons everyone on the wall defending, goes into the city and says, there's going to be a breach.
Right.
This
I
city
agree.
doesn't have the capability to fend off one extra strong zombie, and they don't. He walks straight up to the wall and pulls the wall off its hinges, and then the zombies get in the city, and you're like, what?
I agree. That was
Yeah,
the-
okay,
where I
that
was
was-
oh,
that
that's
was-
weird.
And then
I didn't think about that
he
moment very much. But
and then later in the scene, he lights it on fire with a flamethrower, and it doesn't catch on fire. It's resisting a flamethrower. Look, mushrooms don't cook like other vegetables, okay? But if you hit them with a flamethrower, they will catch fire.
Yeah.
Okay, but it was
Yeah.
like made out of like liquid gel or something. Like this fire, it was bizarre.
But
That
it was,
it
like,
looked like it
hardened.
was doing nothing, and then all of a sudden it fell over and died because tension.
the flamethrowers were particularly annoying to me because they were pretty much useless. They had four.
They
great
had them.
flame-
They had the flamethrowers at the back of the line. The flamethrowers needed to be at the top of the wall, shooting flames down onto the zombies. And the
Agreed.
biggest offense is that they didn't have pikes set up at the base of the wall. They
Apologies,
also
I have
didn't
to
have a
forget.
moat. You can build a moat.
Oh,
it's
a
not
moat.
that hard.
That is the basic defense, and it is one of the most effective.
The fact that there weren't any pikes at the base of the wall so that the big boy could just walk up and pull off the logs was insane. And flamethrowers don't shoot flames, they shoot gas.
Yeah.
They shoot
Yeah.
liquid that is on fire. If you spray that over a zombie, it is going to catch fire. It was so weird that the big boy didn't catch fire.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it's hardened. So that's the thing. It's like it's not just mushrooms. It's like it's this hardened fungi substance.
Which, guess what? If you shoot a flaming liquid on, will still be on fire.
I agree, but you can see that it's been kind of molten. So like once it did fall over, like it was molten and there was like embers and stuff like that. So like maybe it didn't catch fire, but it did sustain the damage. Just it didn't catch fire. I agree. It was a little like I expected it to probably catch fire as well.
Other than that,
what would have been better is you have it catch on fire and it's not dying right away, and now you have a giant flaming mushroom zombie. That's freaking terrifying.
That's even more scary if it did get set on fire and is still alive.
Right.
Because then it's going to come and give you a fire hug. That's two things to be afraid of now. Like, it was bizarre that it didn't catch fire.
Apologies for the interruption, but I do need to get going here.
Okay, thanks for coming on. Thanks for talking to Sinners.
Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for not watching The Last of Us. Is there anything you want to plug? Watch his Sinners review. Full marks. I have no complaints. He's right. Except I think you give the movie like a C. I'd probably
C
give it like a B+.
Well, no, like a D.
Yeah. See, I'd rate it way higher, even though I agree with all of your complaints.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for having me.
Super fun, man.
I did also want to add. I wanted to add on this comment that Joshua was talking about. How they were talking about, maybe they will or they won't kill Joel. I mean, it's better than saying, "Hey, the story says Joel dies," but instead of like going with the story, we're gonna switch it up and kill Ellie instead.
Well,
right? Like they did in another show.
I didn't think that they were going to change the story. I thought they were going to stretch it out.
I know. I'm just trying to
more of the backstory before killing him off.
Yeah,
I agree. I was trying to make a relation towards this and how much better it is to Wheel of Time because it actually is following the story that it's trying to follow.
Yeah. The problem is nobody liked the second part of the story.
It's a challenge.
But yeah, I agree. There is something to be said that it is still following the source material somewhat.
Right.
It's a lot more faithfully than Wheel of Time for sure.
So someone knocked on his door. He's probably getting the missionaries at his house or something. Oh, wait, we're already Mormon. That's not gonna.
It's the Jehovah's Witnesses. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean the episode's not terrible. Like it's pretty flashy. Like it's a cool fight scene. I had problems with it. I thought it was kind of funny though that the Joel's I don't know any of these characters' names. Joel's brother, his wife is the black lady who's kind of overweight. When she started running, it was a little bit funny because she was just and like all of the skinny people next to her, running next to her, they were all getting chomped by the zombies, and she was still making it. Like a bit of a DEI hire to me.
I gotta say, I think it is kind of weird that both her and her husband are like the head of the council. Like that just seems weird to me. I'm like
nepotism. Yeah.
It's like, first off, like sure, I get it if she's the head of the council because that's how it was when they first set it up. But like for her to invite him to be also a head. That just seems like there's a lot of conflicting interest.
They keep doing this thing where they just, rather than showing that a character is cool, or they just insist that a character is cool when they're not. Like it happened. The same thing happened in season one. Season one with the boss lady from Yellow Jackets. Right?
Horribly.
She's this super scary villain who just has zero presence on camera. You're like, and I like her. I think she's a good actress in other things. But in that role, she's horribly miscast, but you know that she was cast because she's a woman, and they wanted to put the woman as the leader. Okay, I don't even mind that, but get a woman who can lead. It's about the biggest, like the Ellie casting is horrible. I'm not a fan of the Joel casting either, but he's better than the other. He's better than Ellie. And here's the same thing with Abby and her friends. I don't dislike the Abby actress. I am not scared of her at all. She's not intimidating. She's too nice. She's too pretty. She's too pretty.
Yeah.
She doesn't have
Yeah.
like a commanding presence. And like I pointed out in my video, the most ridiculous part of the episode is when he says, look, if you're going to rob us, just take our stuff. We can give you all their stuff. Leave us alone. Don't hurt us. Do we look like raiders? Well, what? No. What do we look like to you? You look like military. And half of their group is lesbians with purple hair. And you're like, what? I mean, okay. I guess they do look like the current U.S. military. Okay?
Hey.
It's not just Ellie. It was her whole... There was the one guy in her group who clearly should have been the leader, but he's just like, oh, I'll do anything Ellie says. Yeah, I'll try and convince her not to kill Joel. I'll try and convince her that murder is bad. And he's just defaulting to... Oh, sorry, I said Ellie. I meant Abby.
Abby.
He just defaults to Abby, and she's not commanding.
No. That's...
Yeah.
It's an absolute joke.
That is the one gripe I have with Abby's character, is that she's like, that's the thing about the game, at least, like that Abby definitely has more of a presence because she's big and bulky and heavy, right? Like, so she obviously looks like she could take you on, and even though, you know, that may not have been the expectation. Mm-hmm. So it's like, she definitely looks like she could, but yeah, this Abby, it's like, okay, maybe you're smarter than me, you know, maybe you've got more of a...
What?
I don't know, but...
He says it with an inflection. Military? What are you doing? I'm guessing no one's coming? What do we look like to you? Cabaret? I don't know. They don't look like military, okay?
Yeah, I agree. Abby could definitely use the...
There's a good
after did you guys see the Pedro pants?
No.
Okay.
Pedro, I might have.
Pascal pants. Was this that Star Wars celebration, or was this promoting the show? No, it was shorts, right? I'm not finding it. He's dressed like an idiot all the time. Star Wars celebration. It was Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Let me get a good one. Oh boy. About
like outside, like the actors themselves. I think the one thing that just weirded me out about Bella Ramsey is like, I've seen some of their like their... Yeah, that is weird.
Oh wow, that's like
wow,
cut off dress pants.
But it's the boots.
Those are like
the
gaiters.
Boots are wider than his pant legs.
You know, he kind of looks like he's uncomfortable though. Like, I think he's aware that is just weird. But that is just weird.
They didn't dress him up like this. He showed up to Star Wars Celebration like this.
I know. All I'm saying is, I think that as he got on stage, he was like, "I made a mistake." Like, I think that, because that just looks awful.
It just cuts to Joel from the Arrested Development. I've made a horrible error.
Yeah. but I was saying about Bella Ramsey, like, some of the stuff that I've seen, like, with them in their premieres. Like, did you guys see that one where, like, it shows Bella and him and they're like standing next to each other, and she's like weirdly like touching his arm, like. It was weird. Like she just has a weird presence on the,
she's
the red
extremely
carpet.
awkward.
And so seeing some of that stuff, I'm like, okay, she's just, I don't know.
It's baffling to me why she has any jobs in
I think
Hollywood.
it throws me off a little bit.
Because she can't act.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the biggest sin of the entire episode is they left 2 horses to die.
I
Freeze to death.
saw that too.
Do you know how important a resource like that would be? Do you know how easy it is to just lead a horse, especially if you're doing it with another horse. If you're leading a horse with a horse, it's just gonna follow.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not
that's what
like
I was thinking,
they
too.
didn't have the ability, and they had 3 people.
Yep.
Bella Ramsey could have been on her own horse, and then they could have put Pedro Pascal on the 4th horse, draped over it. They left 2 horses to die.
Yeah, it's true. Why didn't they take the horses with them?
It's because
Oh, you know what? I hadn't even thought about that. I was thinking about how the other team didn't take them, which is also weird. Like if I'm
because I went back and checked. I was like, did they take the horses?
Yeah,
Because
no,
the
they
other one
didn't take
showed up later. No, the other team had access to 3 horses that they didn't take with them, and then Bella Ramsey's girlfriend had access to 2 more horses that they just abandoned.
Yeah.
That is insane.
well, because there
Save
was
the horse.
duel and
Save
and
the horse.
she
Ride
was
a Pedro
on.
Pascal.
Yeah, and then Bella and the other guy came in riding, and they left on 2 horses. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
They left on 2 horses. That's got to be in a Western song, right? That's a line from a song.
Oh yeah, sure.
They
Yeah.
left
well could
on
be.
2 horses.
If not, you
Okay.
should probably make one.
Charles, you got to fix your internet situation.
Yep.
Rude.
Goodness gracious.
We're sending you a new microphone, but that's not gonna help other issues.
Are you guys really setting him up?
Well, we're sending him a new old microphone
Oh, that's
because
funny.
I got a new one, and so
I
I
got the Alan's old one, and he's getting this.
That's
one.
awesome.
Pedro Pascal will be alive. He'll just show up with the horn of Valir, and he's just alive in season 3, and it's not addressed or explained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whiskey for my men, death for 2 horses. That's a good job. You've been on point with your horse puns. Yeah, bizarre, and like, man, a horse is a
Well,
huge resource
Yeah.
in a
if nothing
post-apocalyptic world. Huh?
It's because if nothing else, it's food, right? Like
Yeah,
if that ends up dying, like it's food that you can share for
Right.
days.
And
Right.
like the
Even if they
only
killed the
excuse
all back to meat.
it could possibly be was like the snow was too thick to guide them through the horse. You needed someone on the horse controlling it, and even then, you could have taken 3 of them. You know,
Maybe it was just like because she was hurt and she was injured. Maybe they had to
The Hills of
put her on the
Tangica.
one. I don't know.
I already did the joke though. See, the joke would be just the song that I was singing live, so that
What would Sydney say?
you don't need an official version of my version of the Hills of Tangica. The hills are my boobies, okay? That's it. One dead Joel. Sorry. Okay, this one isn't as good, Martina. One dead Joel is worth 2 dead horses in the bush. You've reached too many levels of obscura. From the so too many connections. Too far removed. You've gone too many Kevin Bacons away from the joke. Okay? Doesn't work quite as well. Man, I really want to like this show.
Yeah.
But I know it only gets worse from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what on earth is season 3 about? Because they, like, recently, a month ago, they said, we are not getting a Last of Us 3 game.
Yep.
Because it didn't sell well enough. People didn't like the second game. It's not popular enough to get a game 3, but it's getting a season 3.
I don't know. I like the game. I think the show's good too.
I don't even hate the concept of killing Joel. I think that there is a compelling story there of you killing a character that you love and then making you hate the person who did it and then making you feel sympathetic for that person. I don't think that's a bad idea. I think the execution is bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Part of it is you got to make the character likable, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And the one who kills the character dislikable. Abby doesn't have presence in the show. In the game, she does. I like Abby in the games. But she just
You mean Ellie, right?
Oh no, Abby. Abby is not like what you were saying. The actress for
Okay.
Abby is not threatening.
Oh, okay.
But she's in the game.
Okay.
And then in addition, you have to make the character that replaces your favorite character likable, which is Ellie, and she is not.
You gotta feed the horse before you shoe it. Sure. Okay.
Martina, you must have grown up around horses or something, because you got a lot of them coming out.
She did have a best friend that had some horses.
Hey, horses. She was a horse girl. I don't know if you guys know this, but thanks to Winter is Coming, our favorite website.
Are they gonna have a Wheel of Time season 3 tomorrow?
There is no new episode of the Wheel of Time today, but there should be.
You know why there should be? Because they didn't conclude anything. They just ended the episode in the middle of nothing.
Exactly. David, you're ruining the joke. They're so close. They're so close to getting it right. There should be another episode today because the last episode didn't end. It was
so
awful. But their reason, there should be an episode today because the show deserves another episode. Wrong. X. No. And I love that they chose this still of Nynaeve looking retarded. This scene was so freaking awkward.
I'm gonna look at that still. That water looks even worse than it did in action.
Yeah, it's
that
bad.
looks so fake. Like
I
it looked fake on the screen, but this still in particular, like wow.
I'm sad I didn't actually get to come last week, so I could join the discussion about that.
We can talk
we're
about
talking
it again.
Episode, but
we're talking about.
Oh no.
About
what is this?
So this is an open letter to Wheel of Time, Prime Video, Amazon, MGM Studios, Sony Pictures, The Wheel of Time, Suwon Deserves Better, Swan Sanche, Watt on Prime, Twitter of Prime. This is an open letter addressing the excessive brutality of a black female lesbian.
Yeah.
Okay. We write as dedicated readers, engaged viewers, advocates for inclusive storytelling within global fan communities. Okay. I think Amazon knows when the episode aired. I'm trying to make it bigger, and when I do, it resets.
Yep.
So sorry.
Can you can't download it and then make it bigger?
Then I would have to download it.
Yep.
Yeah, if you downloaded it, you can probably do it.
I was wondering that is one thing that we didn't bring up last time is we were talking about how they were killing off all the black characters in the show, and they did it again in the finale.
Oh baby.
Yeah, that finale was awful. Absolutely awful.
Yep. We agree.
Because that's not what happens in the book.
Exactly. She deserved better from season 1.
Yeah, seriously.
She's a dark friend in season 2. She attacks Rand with no provocation, and she attacks Moraine, I think, too. In season 2, they confront each other at the gates or whatever.
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Date created. What? No.
You trying to open it up bigger?
1? Yeah, but they're not going to come in order, so I need to rename them. So okay, 1, and then which one is page 2? This one?
That one.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm looking at a different page than you're looking at. That is point 6.
This is sad though.
Oh, I love their 0.5. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Gets better. Okay, hold on. All right, Vamp, talk about how bad the episode was.
This is the problem with social justice, though, for stuff like this. It's like,
right.
She was, first off, she was cast in a really great, a really big show, right? So that's what they argue for, is hey, you got to cast more people like us in these shows, right?
Yep.
And if anything happens to them, They're like, how could you do that? Why did you do that?
Because you asked us to.
It's like we're including them in the story, people.
We did it for you. Okay? And then you got mad when we did it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You can't appease the mob.
Okay. Share? Share this? Share?
Yeah, there we go.
Can you read
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
There you go. Gotta be smarter than a fifth grader.
On April 17th, 2025, episode 308, He Who Comes with the Dawn saw Swan Sanche, a black lesbian woman and one of the series' highest-ranking leaders, being brutally beaten off screen.
Yeah, that was
Publicly
ridiculous.
put on trial and ultimately depicted as a decapitated corpse. In subsequent
put it.
media statements, showrunner Rafe Judkins characterized this decision as carefully considered, while also asserting that it provided the necessary emotional punch aimed at changing and upsetting the world order. That punch
why we hate
indeed
it.
landed, causing considerable distress, especially among the LGBTQIA+, and BIPOC viewers. Okay, you have to explain BIPOC to me. Black, indigenous, people of color? Why aren't black already included in people of color?
Yeah.
They were the first people of color. That was the first thing that term, the first people that term referred to. Maybe I'm getting the first acronym wrong. Maybe the B stands for something other than black.
In
Well,
LGB,
Okay, let's look.
No,
I'm
on
going to
BIPOC.
this right now. Sorry. BIPOC. What does it stand for? Black, indigenous, and people of color.
Yep.
Is
Yeah.
So I think
red not a color?
So I think what it's saying is there's three different groups. There's the black, the indigenous, and then the people of color, which are
Black.
Asians and Mexicans
And black.
Yes, but they're the first group.
We
They don't
literally
need to be included in
used,
that.
used to call them colored people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they said, no, that's politically incorrect. Call us people of color.
Well,
Yep.
Anyway, that's a whole other tangent. We respectfully urge the production team behind the Wheel of Time to sincerely acknowledge the impact of this narrative decision and give careful consideration to the points outlined below. These are our demands.
Yep.
Says Mr. Malkier's King.
Malkier, yeah.
Malkier's King.
Yep.
These are our demands. Excessive brutality. The brutality was very brutal, but excessive. You're not allowed to kill black lesbian leaders.
Yep.
She's only black because of you. Okay? She's not black in the books. Rather than honoring her significant presence, she's only lesbian because of you. She is not a lesbian in the books. Robert Jordan was specifically asked about Swan Sanche and Moraine, and I've gone over it in videos before. In the text, there's like one throwaway line where Moraine says that she never loved anyone more than Swan as a friend. She loved her.
Yeah.
Okay, and there's also a throwaway line where a dark friend calls them pillow friends. When Robert Jordan was specifically asked if they were lesbian, he said no. Their relationship, they were very good friends. They might have experimented a little bit in college, but they are very straight.
Yep.
And they both go on to have straight relationships in the books. Very important relationships to the plot. So, she's only black because of you guys. She's only lesbian because of you guys. So, we made the changes, and now we want you to make more changes. Don't be book accurate, because we made demands, and now we don't like where those demands will lead. We demanded that you include diverse characters, like the Black Aes Sedai that they killed off in season 1. Like, we turned Valda black, and then we killed him. We turned all. They turned the Black Aja black, and she got her cheekbones pushed on real hard, and she died.
And the warder, the Black
And
Warder.
the Black Warder, who lives in the books, they killed him off so Rafe Judkins' boyfriend could keep his paycheck.
Yep.
Who's playing a made-up character, not in the books. They killed the real character to keep the made-up character in. Sorry, have I been missing super chats? Are we good? Or chats in general?
I have not been paying attention to the feed. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, me neither.
Excessive brutality. I don't want to read the fine print. Mediatrope fridging. Okay, fridging is only fridging if it happens at the beginning of a story. Right? If like killing Perrin's wife was fridging. Because it starts the adventure, right? It sets the character off.
Yeah.
You had 3 seasons of this character before she was fridged. That's not what fridging is.
Yeah. And also, fridging can be a good narrative device.
Uh-huh.
Even the origins of the term in the Green Lantern comic.
Lantern. It was really cool.
Good.
It was really cool.
It was like a holy crap moment.
Oh, did you send me an X on? Okay, I'll pull it up. 198. Thank you so much, Mark Clark. We will make sure to pull that up. Mediatrope, bury your gaze. Well, she wasn't supposed to be gay.
She wasn't supposed to be buried.
Oh, that is a good picture. Hold on, let me share this one real quick.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Credit. Wow.
Oh,
Predator.
Man. When does
wow.
It's a good one.
You have an unmasked version? Is that Sydney Sweeney underneath?
If it's do we need an answer to that question? It's obviously just Sydney Sweeney under the mask.
Yep, confirmed. All right, let's go back to the. You're not sharing your screen anymore.
So is this is a legit complaint that like got filed?
Yeah,
against him.
They've been screaming at Rafe ever since the finale.
Yeah, did you not see the King of Manetheren or whatever?
No,
post?
I don't think you were there for Malkir's King.
Oh man,
no,
that was good. We might have to bring that up just to show a little bit.
I watched your guys' last week's.
Okay.
Okay.
But
I don't think I think it was 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I was gonna. I don't remember that being in it. So.
Racial optics. I know what the other ones mean. So
how is this different than number 1?
I'm curious. We recognize and sincerely appreciate the show's commitment to casting a diverse range of BIPOC characters, but it's not enough. This inclusive approach has brought visibility and is a step forward in fantasy storytelling. However, Swan's portrayal does not exist in isolation. Fan communities have consistently raised concerns regarding the treatment of black and dark-skinned characters throughout the series.
So it's the same as
a sentiment clearly expressed. But what about all of the main characters that they also turned black that are still alive?
Like Perrin.
Are there any left?
Perrin, Nynaeve.
Perrin. Okay.
Egwene's not. Well, Egwene is like Middle Eastern or something.
Yeah,
you know?
she's like Middle Eastern.
Avienda, for some reason, is black.
Yeah, I've completely forgot about Avienda.
Like you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Like all the other Aiel look fantastic as Aiel.
They're all
and she's just
mostly good actors except for her too. She's awful. Her delivery is so bad.
Yeah.
I cannot teach someone who isn't willing to learn. Yeah. Okay, I didn't know this was an episode of Mean Girls. I cannot teach someone who is unwilling to learn. dark things about the series. A sentiment clearly expressed in ongoing critiques, such as a recent YouTube essay. I'm sure Amazon took the time to watch the YouTube essay, didn't you? Did you not take the time out of your day to watch the YouTube essay? Does the Wheel of Time show have a colorism problem? Question mark? We worked really hard on it. With increased representation, we understand that depictions of violence may also become more frequent. And you just said it. The concern lies not with the presence of conflict, but with the intensity, frequency, and framing of that violence. Okay. Uno died gobbling somebody's horn. He was white.
What a weird choice. Like, what a weird choice. I'm still
it's not, guess what? It's not just black. Look, I can't believe you got me defending the show. Okay? Uno.
That's true.
Uno dies giving head. Okay?
What was the name of the guy up in Tarwin's Gap?
Was Perrin's wife is white, right?
No, that's true.
Or she was kind of dark. She wasn't. She was kind. I think she was a mixed, but I think she was mostly white.
Yeah.
She gets cut and friggin'. She's been halved. Okay, that's pretty brutal.
The
who
guy
dies
in the king of Faldar or whatever.
All of the other girls at Tarwin's Gap that burnt themselves out, other than Nynaeve. They were all. I guess one of them was Chinese, but we don't care about those colors. Yellow's not a color to us.
I think that's the people of color we were talking about earlier.
No, they don't care about Chinese people. They don't care about Orientals.
Well, you know what? Actually, that probably tracks because, from what I hear, Chinese people are extremely racist as well. So I mean,
no, it's okay to be racist against Chinese people. It literally is.
Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, let's continue.
To these people, it is okay to be racist. They think it's okay. What do you think? What do you think? What's it called? Affirmative action is. It's state condoned racism against white and Asian people. More so against Asian people. It's way more racist against Asians. They have to perform 60% better than blacks to get into college. We have to perform 40% better. Because we're not as smart as Asians. I didn't say I liked it. I said I'm defending it. Briefly. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I'm enemies with both of these people, and this is a temporary friendship, okay? This is like a risk alliance. It's going to be broken in 3 turns, okay? I was trying to read Amanda Bynes. Why are we talking about Amanda Bynes in the comments? Sydney Sweeney looks like Amanda Bynes if you squint. Amanda Bynes is quite flat. I don't think they look. Oh, you're talking about the faces. Sorry. I don't know. I never paid attention. Racism. The Wheel of Time. Representing the frequency. It's about the frequency and framing of that violence, whether intentional or. Oh no, sorry. We were listing all of the white people who've also died in the Wheel of Time, and it's not just black people. It is more black people though. Yeah. But it's not just black people. Because they made the Shan black too, right?
No, they were all white Texans.
Oh no, you're right. Okay, so a bunch of Shan died in season 2. Rand was supposed to have a sword fight with I always forget his name. It's not Tuon. It's
Tuathalan.
No. The guy he was supposed to have the sword fight with.
He's supposed to have a sword fight with him, and he just channels and kills him.
Oh yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Okay, so the girl who had the item on Egwene gets very brutally killed. Okay, team. It's like T1. Okay, the male leader has a show off with. He's supposed to have a sword fight with Rand. Rand ends up just channeling and killing him because that's it's in the book, not in the books. That's a pretty brutal death.
Although I think he was black, wasn't he? Or no, that was the Shan Chan leader.
No, he might have been actually.
Who's the warder in season 1? Wait, was he black too?
No, the warder was white. The
warder
one
that
that
dies in
died, and they
season
had
1?
a whole season episode dedicated to him. No,
It was 2 episodes, 3 episodes.
Oh,
He was
one
white.
episode
committed
specifically dedicated.
that,
to him.
yeah.
Yep.
Look at her face. I looked at 2 pictures and they did not look similar. Okay, that's all I'm saying. There's been lots of brutal white deaths. Season 2. I mean, Lanfear killed an entire city of innocent white people, and you were okay with that. You cheered it. In fact, you said yes, Queen. Okay, she set them on fire. She exploded them. Poor Jacob Carradine gets turned into a gray man, and you're okay with that. Samael gets turned into a spider web, and you're that's probably the most gruesome death in the Wheel of Time, and you're okay with that. A Turok. Tuon,
yep.
High Lord Turok. Thank you,
That's
Mark Clark.
right.
See, if I had Google at my fingertips, I could look it up. I do, but I'm also trying to put on a show. Just excuses. I'm sorry. I'll do better. I'll do better. Technically Mexican. You can do a Google search with the search of a Google. This metaphor doesn't work as well.
No,
Doesn't extend quite as far.
Nope.
we get the rep.
You can look at pictures of Sydney Sweeney with a phone call. Do better, Senator. Do better. I used Croc. Okay.
Okay, so the Faldara King guy was Asian.
Yeah, he was Asian, but he kind of died off screen. He got stabbed. He got
arrowed.
washed. Yeah, it was a big arrow though.
Yeah.
He got washed from Serenity.
Yep.
I'm just saying, if you actually pay attention, it's not just black people who are dying gruesomely in the shows. Like, you guys are morons, okay? Whether intentional or not, these it's not even true, okay? But we can only kill white people. Kill whitey. Whether intentional or not, that should be something that gets the stream demonetized, but that's not what got the stream demonetized, right? Whether intentional or not, these creative choices carry racial implications because that's all you see. You only see race rather than content of character. It can be problematic for viewers. Such matters require sincere acknowledgement and thoughtful consideration. Do better, Amazon. You can kill off black characters with a phone call. Okay? You can change a character's sexual orientation with an email. Do better, Amazon and Rafe Judkins. Do better.
Okay, I think we may have
I think we've exhausted that
a little bit too long.
Yep.
I think so. Yeah.
Misalignment between promotion and outcome. What?
Yeah.
For 3 seasons, promotional campaigns, press tours, teasers, and official social media platforms heavily emphasized Swan and Maureen's lesbian relationship. Okay. And it's a problem for you? Because I agree. It's a central pillar of the show. This strategy fostered trust and emotional investment within queer communities, setting the expectation for thoughtful, committed representation. Is that not what you got? Just because one of them died?
Yep. I love her death. Not only cut short her individual character arc.
Can we do a flashback real quick?
Aren't getting because we're not getting a book accurate.
Can we flashback like a month ago when we were talking about The Gorge, and I said the movie would have been better if one of them died? Because I think that makes a better story and even more engaging romance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's wrong with this?
Maureen should have died.
We trusted that you were going to have gay characters and that you weren't going to kill them. Like, what do you want? Do you just want do you just want every episode to be Swan and Moraine scissoring? And to have no
sure
conflict in the show?
Some of them would want that, yeah. I'm sure plenty of them would.
Like, just go watch porn. I'm not actually condoning that. But, like, if that's what you want, you can find it. Why are you making the Wheel of Time into your sexual fantasy?
A thing which Robert Jordan himself said, please do not do with my characters.
No, he didn't say please.
Yeah.
He said, if you do it, I will hunt you down with the hammer of God. Because I hate it.
Yep.
Rafe assured us it wasn't the last time we'd see Suan. Suan's brutal. He told us that their relationship would be endgame. I wanted an endgame level scene.
So that means
black women twerking.
Flashbacks. Oh man.
No, it means Suan has become a hero of the Horn for some reason.
No.
Yeah, I guarantee you that's what the plan is. You don't think you're not an idiot,
we shall
so
never
you don't
know.
think like an idiot. But I have mastered the ability to
camouflage yourself.
yes, to catch an idiot. I have dabbled in the mire. Okay, I've sweated. Reductive story function. Swan was far more than the washerwoman. What? The showrunner characterized her as.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
Oh, she's okay in the book. So now they want the show to be book accurate.
Yeah. Yep.
She ends up falling madly in love with a male character and doing his laundry. She simps hard for this guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that, the point that they're bringing up about her being healed from stealing, like that was my thought when they killed her. I was like, great. Like, how are they going to even try to tell that story? Hopefully they won't, because
they already did it with Moraine.
Yeah,
with her weave being tied off and being cut off from the power. They already did that in season 2. For some reason, the whole
but she wasn't stealed. Like, she wasn't stealed. She was just tied off.
You're right.
They can do it with the other character that it happens to, though.
I know, but still, like,
or the other character that it happens to. So,
or Swan Sanche.
She's far more than the washerwoman the showrunner characterized her as. Well, I agree that I hate Rafe Judkins for characterizing her at, because she is very important to the rest of the books. She is quite influential. In fact, her entire role becomes an influencer. Okay? I don't want to spoil stuff for David. Following her stilling, loss of the title, she only survived and continued through intelligence, strategy, sheer force of will, and a heterosexual relationship. You're leaving out that part.
Yeah.
Much of her survival is directly due to Gareth Bryn. Okay? Force of will. Healed from stealing. Played a key role in stuff that David doesn't want to read. Political. Okay. Yes, she's important. Okay. Yep. By contrast, the show's portrayal reduced her to Moraine's ineffectual partner and the worst Amerlin seat of all time. Someone who repeatedly fails. They acknowledged it. They acknowledged the show's garbage. That Swan failed at literally everything she did in the show.
Yeah.
As characters explicitly state, this diminishes her agency and profoundly distorts the depth and significance of her original narrative. Furthermore, the claim that Swan's arc could not be adapted without retaining problematic elements from the source material, the Gareth Bryn, just say it.
Yeah.
Just say it, guys. We couldn't do that without her relationship, is unconvincing when compared to the show's successful revisions of other... Oh, screw off.
Yeah.
You guys changed it really well before. You could do it again. Are you kidding me? Wait, what? You successfully included portrayals of sexual assault, excessive nudity, and unnecessary sexualization of women? What? What is
Yeah,
this?
I don't understand that.
Hold on. You could have...
Successful revisions of other...
Your argument... Okay, the claim
So
that
they
you couldn't have done it without Gareth Bryn is unconvincing when compared to the show's successful revisions of other controversial content. Okay, so they revised sexual assault.
Except
they added sexual assault. What are you talking about?
And they added unnecessary...
They haven't gotten
sexualization of
to
women,
the actual
especially-
assault scene.
Yeah.
They haven't gotten to that part in the books. They added that.
Yep.
They added excessive nudity.
If you look at what Rafe Judkins wanted to do, it was definitely unnecessary.
What do you
sexualization of women.
mean? They corrected the sexualization of women?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I think that's what they're arguing, but I definitely would disagree.
They turned these two characters. They made sexualization the most important part of these two characters.
Yep.
Who are way more interesting in the books.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, Mark was helping you out, by the way, with the High Lord Turok.
Yeah, I pulled that up.
Okay, sorry. I missed that.
Yeah, we talked about it on stream. Where have you been?
I'm behind, sorry.
Fan responses include essays. I don't care.
Yep.
We urge you to publicly flog yourself and sincerely apologize for the harm you've caused and commit to a greater sensitivity. How on earth could this show be more inclusive and accountable in the future? It's impossible. If they're more inclusive, you're going to complain more. Because the only other characters that they can add are inherently less important characters who have yet to be introduced, a lot of which die in the books. They were supposed to announce something of what at JordanCon. I know they were going to talk a lot more about the leather-bound books from Dragonsteel. But no season 4 announcement at JordanCon. I mean, they've never respected JordanCon in the past either, or Dragonsteel. So, oh no, they sent a trailer to JordanCon for season 1. That was it.
So Mark, no, I did not pass. So, thanks for bringing that up.
Oh no.
Yeah, thanks.
But you
bully.
barely. It was
big
close. It was close.
Just by a few questions. It seems I need to get a couple more questions right. But
Bummer.
He'll pass.
Better luck next time.
He didn't even play Conan with us for most of the time. So
I know. Because I've been playing Monster Hunter lately. Sorry, guys.
Thank you for your thoughtful attention. We are open to dialogue. No, you're not. We hope to see a public acknowledgement. Just like flagellate yourself. Do it. That'll make us feel better. But wouldn't that also be, if he gets up on stage, publicly flagellates himself, apologize, isn't that just more of the same brutalizing your gays?
Good point.
But except it's worse because it's in real life.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Point.
Oh, they've got sources.
Yep.
Oh
A
boy.
whole 9 of them.
They've got sources, guys. Jeez. Oh, so I've still got Predator on my other screen.
You kept it there on purpose.
Want to know what's funny? You brought up, they cast a really famous actress for Swan Sanche, and that's what created the problem. The reason that they killed her off is because she was uninterested in doing the rest of the story where her role was diminished.
Really? Oh man.
Here's an idea. If the actress doesn't want to do it, don't cast her.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Problem solved. It's just hard to have an actress at Sophie Okonedo's level sidelined to that degree, but still be present throughout the show. Here's the thing. Is she that big of an actress?
I was gonna say, what else is she in?
I've seen her in one
Apparently
thing.
it's an Academy Award nominee. I mean, that is generally a big deal.
This is exactly our argument against casting Moraine with Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
Because she's so famous that you made her the main character. Because
Yeah.
you had to. I don't look. I know who Rosamund Pike was before the show. I have no idea who Sophie Okonedo is. I think when I looked up her IMDb, there was one movie that she was in that I was like, oh, I have seen that, and I didn't remember her being in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up here.
Yeah, do some Googling, okay? It just didn't feel like our version of Suan made much sense in that story. She was just a washerwoman, okay?
Is that what they call her?
That's what Rafe Judkins said, okay? Judkins. I had a long conversation with Sophie Okapupu, who plays Swan early in the process, and I was like, this is what the story continues later in the books, and to be honest, for both of us, it felt like it wasn't the story that we needed an Academy Award nominee playing necessarily in the show. It is hard, blah, blah, blah. And she had a great storyline with Egwene that we do lose, which is really the biggest loss to losing Swan, but we have a plan for how we are going to tell that story with a different character. Okay, so just with the other whatever.
Yeah.
We were always thinking, it's never like, oh, it would be shocking, kill Swan. Of course. Oh, shut up. Of course you thought that.
Yeah.
That's why you
That was
said
the whole
you did
point. That was the whole point
Yeah.
of propping up her character so that it would hit with like a punch, like
Yep.
you said. Thanks for bringing that up. I forgot about that quote.
Dude, she's in Slow Horses.
Is she? Because I'm not
Where?
seeing anything else
Who is she in
that I
Slow
recognize.
Horses?
I'm not seeing Slow
Okay.
Horse. Oh, no.
I
Okay,
like
it
Slow
is.
Horses. It's not that big of a show.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, she was in that Ratched TV show with Nurse
you mean
Ratched.
the prequel TV show
Yep.
to One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
Yep.
that
Yep.
everyone definitely watched?
I watched the first couple episodes and like this, I'm not watching this anymore. Nothing else.
5 billion
She's been
conversations
in
have.
Undercover,
Oh,
Alien
Alan,
Worlds.
she's Ingrid. She's the other. So there's the main woman that's over the whole department, right? And then there's the woman that's above her. That's
Have I got? I've watched the first 2 seasons. I need to go back and watch season 3.
it might be.
I think I watched like the first episode of season 3.
It
And
might
I
be
stopped
in
for some reason. I need to go back
season.
because it's a good show.
Yeah, it might be in season 3. Yeah,
Okay, it's been 2 seasons without this
that's true. It is
Academy
her.
nominated
Yeah.
actress.
Yeah.
5 billion conversations have gone into it. We know exactly what we're doing with. We know exactly what we're doing with every storyline Swan has in the books and who's taking over those and which ones are getting cut. Anytime we make a change like that, we have a plan for how it's going to flutter through to the rest of the series.
Oh, we just get rid of them.
For us, it ultimately came down to the fall of the tower as the peak of the drama and tension for the White Tower and for Suan. And so to continue her story as a washerwoman after that, it just didn't feel like our version of, yeah, that's the point. That's the problem. You moron.
I mean, that's kind of why I love her story, is because it's like she goes from literally being the top of the tower,
yeah,
to end up being someone who, has to end up humbling himself.
It's almost like it's a good story. It's almost like Robert Jordan knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
The Wheel of Time boss promises a freaking amazing season 4. We promise. This time it'll be faithful.
Yeah, I thought they said that about season 3.
Look, because we're going to get to adapt books 5 and 6 for the next season, and that means we can ignore books 5 and 6.
So they've got 3 episodes for each, is what they're saying.
Yep.
But he's already.
No, sorry, 4 episodes for each.
He's already said that that's not the plan. They're going to go back and do Kalendor the next season. They said it in this season.
Yeah.
We're going to take the Aiel and take Kalendor. So they're doing 3, 5, and 6 next season. Because if he gets his, look, I don't think they're getting a season 4. But if they do, he is absolutely ending season 4 at Demise Wells. Because he knows it, like, he's not going to get another chance to do it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I agree. I really don't want a season 4. But the morbid curiosity in me kind of wants to let him do Demise Wells. Because, oh boy, it would be awful. But I think it's a net negative, right? Like my enjoyment of seeing how bad it is isn't as good, isn't enough good to counteract the fact that it would exist.
Yeah.
Oh, apparently she was also in his Dark Materials too.
Okay, you've listed a lot of shows and none of them have been popular.
Oh, come on. It was his Dark Materials. That was pretty big.
It wasn't.
I mean, it could have been real big.
Season 1 was had some viewership, and it was all downhill from there.
I know.
They practically shoved season 3 under the carpet.
Here's the thing.
Under the rug. Sorry.
I guess I'm surprised that I knew more of the stuff that she's in.
Okay, I have seen that, though. So I have seen her in something, and she wasn't very memorable in it.
Clearly.
I didn't remember her.
Okay, guys. She's the feet hands lady in Aeon Flux.
Oh, I take it all back. I take it all back. Sophie Okonugu is queen.
I think that's her.
She's feet for hands lady in Aeon Flux.
She is, yeah.
Oh, I have never been so wrong. I eat my words. I am so oh no.
Feet for hands.
Oh no, she's hands for feet lady. Sorry.
Hands for feet.
Is that the one where
there's a character in Aeon Flux. There's a character in Aeon Flux
she
who has hands
on the sharp grass or whatever?
She has hands for feet. Her feet are hands instead of feet. And so she has hands. She has 4 pairs of hands, and she's the best character in Aeon Flux. I take it all. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, Sophie. Oh no. I don't. I've made a horrible error.
Wow.
I should have known an actress of her caliber would be the actress playing the character that I knew in my head as Hands for Feet Lady, because I definitely remembered that character's name.
Yeah.
This is Rafe on season 4. What we wanted to do was have the season end with a moment where Rand truly embraces his duality Not a thing in the books. And you hopefully see, like,
What the hell does that even mean? Embraces his duality?
they're
Yeah.
trying to
not-
push in the show that he could be bad or he could be good.
Eh,
Okay, that's only kind of a thing in one book, and it's resolved in that book
yeah.
where he makes a choice between good and evil. It's not hard to figure out which one he chooses. Okay, it's a very traditional narrative.
Yeah.
And you hopefully see that in his end, and you hopefully see that in his endpoint of this season. The season has begun with Egwene seeing the good in him, and this, which one? Season 3 or season 4? Egwene seeing the good in him and the best in him, and Lanfear seeing the worst in him, and both of these women embracing those sides of his character. What? That's what you were going for in season 3? Rafe is a moron. I'm sorry, like,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I have to recontextualize season 3, and it still doesn't make sense. That's he is so bad at his job, he can't even badly adapt the wheel of time correctly.
Yep.
It's not just malice, it's malice and incompetence. Like, he's malicious, we know that. He's also really bad at it. He can't even do what he wants to do correctly. What a moron. By the end of this season, you have Egwene looking at him and seeing the worst in him, and Lanfear looking at him and also seeing the worst in him because she's seeing the best in him. It's the Rick and Morty episode, guys.
Oh,
It's
wow.
the
The
Rick
one
and
where they
Morty
get there.
episode where they go to hell and they're like, "Oh, pleasure is pain, but
Oh my
but if
goodness.
pleasure is pain, then pain is pleasure." And then, but then if we like that, we like it because it's good. But then that means that it's bad, so we don't like. But no, we don't. No, we don't like it because it's good. But that means that it's causing us distress, which is bad, which means that we like it. Are you kidding me? You mean you saw that episode and said, "I don't get the joke. Let's do that for real"?
I mean, that's kind of how it's in the book. Like Egwene's like, oh, she's like, he's going to give in to this taint that is in the power, right? And essentially that's why she leaves and goes back to the tower because
Yeah, but Lanfear leaves him because he's good, and that's bad. Lanfear simps after him the whole series, except for like the last book where she simps after Perrin.
I know.
They flipped, guys. It started off one way and it ended a different way. It's called the duality of man. It's dual. There's two of them. There's two genders for sure. They flipped it it's a really nice drama circularity. That's not a circle. That's not how circles work. His face at the end of the season sells our story that we're going to tell with him in season 4. Okay, I take it back. I do not want a season 4. No, we're good.
Yeah.
Not negative. I'm done with this one. I don't know if you guys know this, but racism and colorism are different. The Wheel of Time does not strike me as racist. It's far too diverse. But understanding that colorism, what colorism is, and learning more about it, that's where this conversation starts to happen. Don't confuse the two, guys.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I was not confused before,
Don't.
but I am now.
Do it.
Definitely.
We might have to skip this one. This is the costume department.
Okay.
They spent
Wow,
a lot
that's
of money. They spent a lot of money on costumes and not a lot of money on writers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
This
I've
is
seen
them.
some of the costumes.
This is them posting. This is our beloved costume department. Praise
Wow.
be.
Seeing how some of them are dressed, especially that lady at the bottom left, it all makes sense now.
Yeah, it's
Someone
fashion.
brought their dog to work. Oh, and
wow.
and Uno is there. Is that the act? That might be the actor.
That looks like Uno.
I don't know why he's there. He died in season 2.
Maybe that's why they couldn't have him continue in the story, because they're like, dude, we need you in our costume department.
Yeah.
I think that might be Rafe up there. It might be a different guy, but it kind of looks like Rafe. It's blurry.
Yeah.
Wow. I hate this show.
Yeah.
I said this as it happened that this was going to be the defense.
Yep.
She was teaching Nynaeve. She was rooting for Nynaeve to win.
You called it before it happened because
Yeah.
she was sad that she didn't make it in the arches.
She's Black Aja, but mother got a mother. So she could have shot Nynaeve in the forehead, but she didn't. She gave her a better chance. A chance to be better. Do better, Nynaeve. Okay? You could be Black Aja with a phone call. You could drown your firstborn son with an email. This one's long. It was late at night. There's about 100 messages between us.
Oh boy.
And he didn't block me. Wow. It's fun though. It's a fun journey. Do you want to explore some of it?
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Aldan, it was funny. Aldan was awake at the same time. It was like 2:00 in the morning for me, and I couldn't sleep. Aldan, it turns out, was having a parallel conversation with the same person. Because he's in Australia, so he was awake. And it's hilarious. Both of them are funny. Is they channeling Saidin or Saidar? So I started off as an ally. I wanted to confuse them.
Yep.
Okay? But I was like, I'm genuinely confused. Is they channeling Saidin or Saidar? Well, presumably they would channel Saidar, since a woman channeling Saidin would have sent the tower into a frenzy. Also, they wouldn't know.
Yep.
And I doubt they would have allowed her to continue into madness and become keeper of the chronicle. It'd have to be Saidar. Why don't they make Rand transition then? Why was Moraine so scared that the dragon could be born a boy? Do let's not go down the road of what ifs. Rand wouldn't need to transition because he isn't trans, and sexuality and gender expression is the norm in this world. No one would question it. It's just not how it's written. He's a cis male even if they wish he was a girl. But if it would save the world, not transitioning seems pretty selfish. Is Rand a transphobe? How would it save the world? Rand is the dragon. Whether he is a woman or a man, trans people don't just transition because it's convenient.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Ever
I mean, that's kind of exactly what they're doing. Okay. It's their identity. And Rand identifies as a man, but he would see any trans person as his equal in the world. It would allow him to channel Saidar, and he wouldn't go crazy from the taint and kill everyone he loves. And how do you know how Rand identifies? Are you assuming his gender? He sees trans people as equal. He is an ally. So he should just identify as a woman. Moraine said it would be better if he were a girl. At this point, I think he kind of realized I was trolling.
Yep.
You're throwing up weak suggestions, if I may say so. Not the gotcha moment you think it is, mate. Rand is not trans, or he would have been written that way. I repeat, Rand is not trans, or he would have been written that way.
Yeah.
He was not. Forcing him to change into a girl would do nothing. Ally does not equal... I know. It's called a joke, bro. What you're an ally does not equal what you're an ally of. Come on. Lelaine is not trans, or she would have been written that way. Moraine and Suan are not lesbian, or they would have been written that way. And trans women are not women, or they would have been born that way.
That's a great response.
You're right. You're right, though. Pretending to be a girl would do nothing.
Yeah.
As we keep saying, the show isn't making Lelaine... so now he's going to backtrack entirely. Shifting the goalpost again.
Yep.
The show isn't making Lelaine trans. Her character is a woman being played by a trans actress. So the show is completely dodging the bullet.
Yep.
Okay, it doesn't create a contradiction in the world universe, because according to the show, it's just a woman being played by a man.
Yeah.
He made the statement that in this universe, trans identity...
I know. It's called backtracking because your position is untenable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Robert Jordan literally said in an interview that Soirain were both straight. And if I'm wrong, please define woman. You're exhausting. It's basically hinted at that they're at least bisexual, but it doesn't matter if you hate that, because in the show, they are in love. Okay, changing the goalpost again. Yep. I won't argue this. A woman is a woman. Trans women are women. If you don't like it, run along, okay? You won't argue the point because you're not making an argument. Circular definitions are fallacious. You can't include a word in its own definition. I won't argue the point because it's my page. I don't need a blah, blah, blah. Trans women are women. They're lovely. You can argue with your own page, whatever, okay? But you said that if Rand pretended to be a woman, it wouldn't let him suddenly be able to channel Saidar because he was born a man. So which is it?
Yep.
I'm just looking for logical consistency. You're confusing two things on purpose. Yeah, that's the point. Because you're very confused. It keeps going on. I'm not confused. I know what a woman is. Good for you. Okay. It ended here, but there was another thread that someone else commented on. The logical consistency is that whatever. But what is a woman? Okay, this is the other one. Okay, if you don't know what a woman is, I'm not sure I can help you. Like saying that with a straight face, but we've run far away from the original topic, which is to imply that I'm happy a trans actress got to play a role in the show. Very cool. Women like being called actors now, by the way.
Yep. Got him.
He walked into his own trap. He walked into his own trap. He's a bigot. He's a bigot. He's a bigot. Bigot.
Okay, I get this, the whole topic of transgender and stuff like that is a tricky one, but I'm like, I don't know if we need to keep what's the word? Stringing them out.
Yeah, I got him. Got him good. So that was a long conversation.
Most of the night, though, huh?
This one's almost as long as mine.
My gosh,
it's good. That one was fun.
I still don't understand Twitter. That's definitely something that I would not be.
Yeah, we're talking about it's Mamma Sedai, yes. Mark Locke found a new dancer in Conan. Yeah, I might play a little bit tomorrow night, since we don't have a stream tomorrow night. Jared is the new peer.
Yep.
Demise Wells will be a gay boy.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh dear. Okay. Oh yeah, Andor also happened, and now Star Wars has rape in it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Did you?
So
You didn't get to complain about the finale or the penultimate episode, though, Jared. Was there anything you wanted to mention specifically?
I think it's a little late at the stream to be asking that, but it was an awful season. I think
So bad.
it literally, and especially the last episode. It just, there were so many things where it just didn't make sense. I literally laughed out loud when I saw the Aofin walking in high heels.
Yep.
And you guys had mentioned stuff like this. Look, I get it.
They were reverse heels.
I know, sure. I don't even know what they're called, but I get it. With costumes, they can be tricky, and you're trying to do something new. But like, that was just awful.
Yeah,
that did not fit at all. And then just that whole interaction between him and Matt, like, it was weird. The whole, you guys brought it up too, where it was like they'd go into a hallway and then another person would exit that, and then they'd come. Yeah. That was totally weird. I'm like, so that whole sequence was off. Plus, we kind of mentioned it a little bit briefly this episode. It's like, what does this even do for the story? Like, this does nothing for the story.
Yep.
Like, none of this has moved the story at all. All it is doing is basically saying, oh yeah, now they have the soul dom that they can go ahead and they can try to collar Rand now, right? So it's like, ooh, is it going to happen? All that stuff. But I'm like, so there's stuff like that, and I don't remember that really even. Well, it was in the story, but
Nynaeve just lets Leandrin go.
Oh, I know. There's stuff like that where literally she's just like, oh, I got out of there alive. It's like, you're not gonna chase her, you're not gonna do anything. Like, yeah. you literally were trying to keep this soul dom away from her at all costs, and you just let her walk away. So anyway,
and everything's okay now because she can channel.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the whole thing with Elaine and Tom too was ridiculous. Like, I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I love that they brought Tom back in. I want to see more of Tom because guess what? He's in the story more. Like, he has been in the book a lot more, and we've barely gotten to see him.
Yeah. Although he doesn't have the mustache.
Yeah, I don't hate the actor playing Tom either. I agree. I
wish they gave him a mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think he could be a good Tom Maryland, but we haven't really seen a lot of it, and I think we should. Like,
Tom Maryland's like costume character design is the perfect example of how the showrunners are embarrassed by the books. They have to hide his Gleeman's cloak.
Which you'd think that would
underneath.
Be something that
it's an Easter egg on the inside of his coat because they don't like the Wheel of Time.
Well, they have showed some of the back of his coat is more colorful.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's
It's a brown coat, and on the inside there are color patches.
No, on the back of it, there's.
Did they fix it in this season?
Yeah, there's patches on the back.
It's super colorful. It's all muted browns and reds.
I know, but there's definitely, like, at least in this season, there are a lot more patches, at least on the back of his coat.
You'd think with the costuming department they would want to be flamboyant. That's a excuse to have this big, over the top flamboyant.
It's weird how far the Wheel of Time TV show is in the closet.
Yeah, right.
My goodness.
Yep.
But yeah, there were just so many things that didn't make sense. Like, a lot of the stuff, like with Moraine. So I will say, I think you guys mentioned last week that you weren't sure like what the idea of her channeling out in the middle of the desert was. I think the idea behind that was that she was she was going to do the same thing she did at Tarvalin. No, where he was declared the dragon, right? Where she did the whole dragon thing that came up behind him, or whatever. I think she was going to do something like that to try to declare, hey,
Except that she specifically said she wasn't going to do that.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
The previous episode.
I'm not. Other than that, I don't know why she would just be randomly in the desert like that. Because that's what it kind of seemed like. Is she was getting ready for something like that? Maybe she was just getting ready because she's like, "Oh, this is where I'm going to be fighting."
Yeah, but you don't want to burn yourself out before a fight.
Yeah. So, but the other thing too,
it takes energy to channel, especially into, the
yeah. I really hated that fight scene too.
What it's supposed to be, but yeah, the fight scene was balls.
That fight scene was kind of ridiculous because, I really love that part in the book too. Jade was Rafe Judkins, talked about how he's like, yeah, we were so excited because we basically there's this tension of like, oh, Swan Sanche is going through this deposition at the same time that Moraine's going through this fight with Landrin, not Landrin, with Landfear, and so like, oh, are we gonna kill Moraine, or what's gonna happen? And then, so like they're literally in the middle of this fight, and then she's like, oh, I can feel her die. I'm like, what? Yeah. So that was weird, implying that they were bonded.
Because of the extra oath that she made her swear on the oath rod. And that's what they were going for.
I knew that.
That's true.
My biggest prediction before the season dropped was that that Moraine was going to feel Swan die through the Force.
Yeah, and that was dumb.
But that's not what it was. It was
I think you had it the other way
releasing
around,
of her fourth oath. Because when she dies, the oath was released, so she knew she was dead.
Got it. But it was just weird. It was still really weird. And
it was dumb. It was stupid. I agree.
Yeah, and I love that part in the book because literally you're like Moraine is fighting for her life, and she manages to kill Landfear at the same time that she dies, right? And they get sucked into the portal together. And you're like, oh, shoot, they just died, basically.
Yeah.
And it was so touching because you're like, oh, Moraine has been such a help for Rand right now. Like, what's he going to do now? Right? Like, how is he going to get by now without Moraine helping him? And then he learns how to do it by himself, Yep. And so this whole thing where she's not dead, but she's close to being dead, that's weird. I don't know where they're going to go with that, and I think that's awful.
I thought they were going to take her out in this.
He's supposed to
Landfear out of the picture, it was supposed to happen in.
He's supposed to kind of replace her with Asmodean, but then Asmodean dies too. So.
Yeah.
That was really weird. They're like, "Oh, you're going to train him, so yeah, he's going to fulfill the role of Asmodean," but then they pull the rug,
kill him off in the same scene.
I don't know what you're going for here.
I think there was another part of the episode where I literally started laughing because it was just so absurd, but I don't remember where it was.
Oops, not that one. We'll get to Andor in a second.
It was just really awkward. There was a lot of awkward things that were not book accurate at all, and I guess there were some things. It's kind of like what we talked about at the very first of the season. Is there's little things that you're like, oh, it's the Aelfin, right? But it's
it is in the books. I don't remember if it was exclusively in Brandon's part of the books, but it is book accurate.
About what?
That you can feel an oath dissolving. That you can. It's a physical feeling you can feel when you are no longer bound to an oath.
Oh yeah, no. I think that makes sense. I didn't realize that was it.
It's because it's because it wasn't explained very well, huh? They didn't do a good job of saying that that's what was happening.
Yeah, and so there was just a lot of that.
It was payoff with no setup whatsoever.
Yeah, so there was a lot of stuff where it's yes, they're trying there was a lot of oh, look guys, look, we're following the book, but then they're not following the book at all. So there was a lot of stuff like that the whole thing with Leandrin too, I don't like her character at all. She's not anything like. In fact, I think that this whole thing with her being like assaulted and all of that, like, is actually kind of weakened her character a lot because it's not.
She's just misunderstood. She's not bad.
Yeah, like, and
It's
she
lame.
doesn't seem
It's
she
lame.
doesn't seem bad or scary or anything like that. She's just like
She's just a little girl who's lost.
Yeah.
And
not only that too, because they confuse their own narrative with her having a kid as a result of that abuse, and yet she loves the kid. But then in this one episode here, she's like, "Oh yeah, it would be better if I just killed my kid a long time ago."
drown.
But
Well,
you
'cause
haven't.
she's confused.
tried
Even
to
when
make
he
her
did
sympathetic
die, I
before.
cared about him so much. I left a clue
Yeah,
to where I was going so you could find me because only for her love for her child.
yeah, it's just super inconsistent. Trying to have it both ways.
I just don't think it. Yeah, it just doesn't fit with that character. Like, sure, maybe do it with another character, but like, I feel like Leandrin's character was not the right character to do that with. Like, it does not fit with Leandrin's character.
Yeah.
And it weakened because in doing so it weakened the rest of the story, right? Like you guys were talking about, like this whole thing with how Nynaeve's kind of being like, oh yeah, like I look up to her like as a mentor. It's like that's just weird. That's weird because Leandrin was always the one that was like, "Oh, you stupid accepted. Like, why are you doing this?" Or right? It's like that was never the case in the book, and you always hated Leandrin because she literally was condescending and judgmental and just bad.
And then when she gets punished, it's fantastic.
Yeah, right. But anyway, so and the whole deposition of Swan Sanche was ridiculous. That they depose her and then they beat her off screen and bring her back. Like that was literally I was confused because they depose her.
Very poorly edited, yeah.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the next scene is like there's a bunch of blood that's on the like someone's been dragged in.
They
there.
didn't do it in that room. They took her to a different room to do it, and then they brought her back.
Yeah,
I'm like, what in the world is going on?
They had no idea what they were doing.
And that just does not seem like something that the White Tower would do. And obviously this is something that like you get into the stupidity of Elida, right? Like and that's kind of why you hate her as the Amerlin, is because she's just stupid and she causes so many issues that don't need to be caused, right? Or brought up or initiated. But the fact that she would do something like that is just out of character and not even just her, but like
it ruins her future story too. What's her breaking point? The reason why she loses everyone's there's 2 points. It's she tries to make a fourth oath, which just so happens to be the oath that Suwan makes. Moraine do, okay? She tries to make the fourth oath, and they don't let her. They're like, no, that's too far.
Yeah.
And then they think, I think she's kind of starting to get power hungry. I think maybe we made the wrong choice. And then the second thing that she does that loses all of her support is beat Egwene to an inch of life.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I
She beats her almost to death, and everyone's like, yikes.
Yeah, right? Like, that's the thing. All of these other women in the tower are just supporting this. Like, they're just, like, okay with all of this.
And it ruins the rest of the story.
Yeah. It's not how it should be going.
Like it's the same problem with Rafe's choking fetish. Mm-hmm. Rand and every other character gets choked. They choke each other during sex, and they like it so much that later on in the series, when there's a very serious choking moment, it's not going to be taken seriously.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, they already did that in season 2.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, it just feels so off for the characters of like just the Aes Sedai, you know, like especially the white who are all about logic. There is no logic in any of that happened, and yet they are there. And I mean, and like I said, I get it. Like there's Black Aja, but for everyone else to be okay with that and have no objections,
it's ridiculous.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you read Rafe's statements of what he was trying to accomplish in that season. You're like, okay, this is just nonsense. You didn't even accomplish your stupidity. Like
Yep.
so
Yeah. So
garbage show.
I did not like it one bit. It was very disappointing, and yeah, I feel like it just dropped us in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, where are we supposed to be going?
But ran for 3 entire seasons. His season finale has been, I'm going to stand completely still and channel. So, yay, so exciting for the main character.
Look, I do love how it looks, but at the same time, that was weird too because you can't see somebody channeling.
Yeah.
So that's still weird.
You can't.
Like,
They have not established that in the show, though.
I know,
No,
and you
I
guys,
don't think I think they're just saying that
channels.
you can see people channeling.
Yeah, I think that's the word they're going with, because there's times that Rand channels and everybody is like looking at him like, "Whoa, what are you doing?"
I know. It just.
Did you like the part where the Aiel just divide in 2 though?
Yeah, well, that felt really weird too because they're like, "Oh no!" You think and they all just kind of back up. And you're like, "That was weird." Okay, I guess you know where the Shido are.
Yeah, I think it's delayed by an extra 3 seconds on both X and Rumble, but there's nothing I can do about that. So,
because that's the only way that you're going to know who the Shido are is by them separating like that so visibly. Oh yeah,
it wasn't even they were mixed. It was mixed costumes. The Shidos were all in black.
I did see that. There were some that weren't all in black.
It was and it was what? It was bizarre. Anyway, they specifically made the point in episode 7 that Days Conger must be able to channel. Oh yes, because she could see Alana's weaves, and then they show people reacting to weaves that they shouldn't be able to see. Yes,
I know. I thought that was dumb too.
But you're right. We were wrong. They have specifically established that you can't see weaves. They're just really bad at it. Okay, Andor. Yeah. I don't think it's terrible. It really wasn't that good. It was kind of a letdown, kind of boring. And it's got rape in it. And I don't think my opinion has changed whatsoever for season 1. I think that Andor is a good sci-fi, and I think that it's bad Star Wars.
Yeah, I get why people
and that's
have that
the rape stuff too.
Yeah,
you that should not be in Star Wars. And the people defending it are the ones their argument was always, "Come on, it's a kid show." Okay?
Can't be a kid
I
show
don't
anymore.
think it's a bad scene.
Yeah.
Okay? I think it's actually quite compelling. Does not belong in Star Wars. I think it's a good sci-fi show. It is not Star Wars, especially with the music in this episode. It started off really good. The music was like, "Oh, this is really fun," and then the last half of episode 3 is like this modern rave techno, and you're like, nope, that's not Star Wars anymore. I'm out.
Yeah,
But it would
like
have been perfectly fine if this was not Star Wars. And the other thing is, the tonal, the darker aspects of the show, I really enjoy. I don't enjoy them in Star Wars. So it doesn't fit Star Wars. That's the bigger problem. That's the biggest problem. And the other problem is, I don't like that it's attached to Disney Star Wars. Anytime they bring up Star Wars stuff, I just cringe.
Yeah.
Because I'm remembering all of the bad Star Wars. And this show would be so much better if it was just a completely unique IP. Favorite Star Wars movie? I mean, is this a question? Is it not The Empire Strikes Back for everyone? If it's not The Empire Strikes Back, you're wrong.
When I was a kid, it was Return of the Jedi because I liked the Jungle Planet.
Yeah, because you're an idiot.
Yeah, but I was a kid.
No, you liked the monkeys.
Then I grew up and I put off childish things.
Right. Well, Mark is wrong. So
okay.
I forget the names of all the episodes. I just know them by the numbers. Which one is Empire Strikes
Back? The second
Back?
one or the fourth one?
Oh yeah. Wait.
The fourth one is the first
one. be the fifth one.
It's episode
So
5.
you're talking about
the second
the fourth.
film.
You're talking about. I'm hearing fourth and fifth. Are you
sorry,
talking about
fourth-
the fifth
fifth,
one or the
fifth.
fifth?
Fifth one.
Fourth.
Fifth
It's
one.
either the second.
Episode
It's
5,
either the second or the
second
fifth
film.
episode
Yeah.
5.
Okay.
It's second film, fifth episode.
I just kept hearing the
No.
fourth.
I'm
Not
sorry, I
that different.
misspoke. I
Got it,
misspoke.
got it.
Yeah,
I
my
keep
brother
New
can't
Hope is
count.
4.
Got it. Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yep.
I like that one.
In my head, I said, okay, first 3, then skip 1. That's 4. I mean, forgot.
Yeah.
There's some good stuff in this season of Andor. I forget the main guy. Not the main guy, but the guy in charge of the rebels.
Diego Luna? Oh, right.
What's his face? Scars. Is it Skarsgård?
No, Skarsgård is the guy that was in Mandalorian season 1 that he wants the child.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Show me the child.
I just typed in Adnor. And what's this guy's name?
I didn't know what you were talking
Oh,
about.
it is. It's Stellan Skarsgård. You
Oh.
corrected me, you imp.
Oh, you're right. It is Skarsgård. Who's the
The guy in season 1 was also a great actor.
Yeah.
You look it up.
Yep. I'm looking it up.
There's a line. There's a moment with Stellan Skarsgård in the 3rd episode. It's fantastic.
Werner Herzog.
Werner.
the guy.
It's another.
Very, very different guy.
They all look the same. Okay, all Nazi, all Germans. You can't cancel me for that. Can't cancel me for that. I was making fun of white people.
Both great actors, though. Yeah.
Yeah, Stellan Skarsgård's fantastic. It continues to be the best part of the show. There's a moment. It's not quite as good as his speech in season 1, where you're just like, you're so naive. It's a similar vein. It's kind of the same moment, but without a speech. It's just one line, and with one line, he delivers the exact same emotion from his big speech, and you're like, oh, that was good. Episode 2 was kind of pointless. I don't understand. They don't need to be releasing 3 episodes. Yes, it was technically an arc.
Right.
I'm not going to be able to keep up watching 3 episodes a week. I have to.
Yeah, it's hard.
I just
Hard to
committed
do
a race.
That was the case with the season 1 too. They had 3 episode arcs, but they still released them week to week.
Well, the first week was 3 episodes, and then they did 1. So they dropped 3
Okay,
and then
that's
1,
right.
1.
That's
This
right, I
time they're
remember
doing
that.
3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
3 because there's 12
Ridiculous.
episodes, so 4 weeks.
Be over in a
Insane.
month.
Shooting themselves in the foot when you could have a water cooler show for 12 weeks.
Yep.
And you're doing it in
Yep.
4. Is Serial Man?
Serial Man. I don't know what that's referring
Diego
to.
Luna is the main guy, and I really like him as an actor.
Yep.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Cyril Karn.
Who was that?
That's the character name. Is that what you're referring to?
Oh, he's the guy that was
Kyle
hunting him down
Toller?
the whole time? Oh,
Yeah.
and he was eating cereal in the episode too.
Oh yes.
He eats cereal with his mommy.
That's hilarious. His name.
I got
in
it.
The show
I got
is
it
Cyril
before
Karn.
you commented. I got it. I said it and I looked up and then I saw your message pop up on screen. Yeah, he eats blue cereal with blue milk cereal.
Yeah.
Yes, he's
Wow.
in episode 3. I don't think he shows up till episode 3. And it's weird. It's him and the boss lady.
Yeah.
They're in a relationship now, and it's just their home life. It's it's boss lady meeting his mom.
That's episode 2.
And it's not a bad scene. It's actually kind of fun, but the whole time he's just like,
Huh.
why are we spending so much time with these characters?
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was kind of the same. One of my minor complaints in season 1 too is that we kept coming back to him, and there wasn't any character progression. He was just
Right.
eating cereal, right?
like his
Crazy for
his
Cocoa
character arc in season 1 is he's indignant and refuses to follow orders because of his obsession and gets rewarded with a promotion at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And now he's in a relationship with Boss Lady. Like, again, it's not a bad scene. I kind of liked the scene, but then the whole time I was watching it, I was like, it's not a bad show, but it feels like it's treading water. And you're like, this. So. And maybe I wouldn't care as much if it wasn't Star Wars. I kind of like the plot that they're setting up too. With it's a more like kind of a political
intrigue,
thriller, and you can kind of see where the pieces are going to land later in the season. It's kind of interesting. They're doing a there is a planet that's kind of famous, for their silk production. Like the galaxy, they're well known in the it's a planet that can't just disappear.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Empire needs to strip mine it for a resource that they need to build the Death Star. So they need the planet to go bye-bye without people being mad at them. And that's Boss Lady's new job, is to pull that off.
Interesting.
It's kind of a cool plot.
Sure.
We'll see where it goes. It was a little bit boring. I think that this could have. I think episode 2 is completely pointless. Episode 2 is almost a bottle episode, except that it's jumping between 2 bottle episodes, and didn't add anything because it moves on completely from both of those plots. So I don't think that was necessary at all. Is she played by the Twilight chick? I don't know because I don't care about Twilight. Not her. That's Bix. Is it this one? It's Denise Go, but like spelled like Van Gogh.
Yeah.
She's. I don't see Twilight in here. Oh, she's in that. She's in that.
Adria Onjora.
She's in that Mormons Are Bad TV show. Under the Banner of Heaven.
Which one?
Which one?
There.
Good question. Good question.
Great question, Charles.
Fair point.
I don't see Twilight on here.
Hasn't been in anything. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not super excited to be watching 3 episodes of Andor a week, and I'm sorry I didn't finish Daredevil. I started watching the penultimate episode, and I literally fell asleep. It's Kingpin getting cucked again, and I'm just like it's so hard to care about Daredevil, but I did commit to finishing it, and I will finish. But I hate it, and also.
Wow. That's
Wow.
Yep. Accurate.
It's too good. Oh, baby. None of you guys watched Andor. It's just me talking about Andor.
No.
I don't have access to Disney Plus.
Yes. Oh my goodness, you're such a wuss.
Yep.
I didn't have access to any of the shows that I was providing for you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Mhm.
I gotta go delete all those episodes from my Google Drive. So I'm not gonna be able to. It's gonna be too big because there's 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And I have a free account.
I'll see if I can get access from Tina.
So, do you want us to be watching Andor so that we can talk about it?
I don't know. I don't care anymore. I just don't care. I don't care about life. I don't care about TV shows. They're so bad.
Nothing
What do
Nothing
you like?
good is on.
What are you guys going to watch? That's.
Uh,
Are we? I assume we're still watching The Last of Us.
I'm
Yeah.
done. I
I'll
don't wanna
watch
it.
Last of Us and Doctor Who.
I don't want to watch the Doctor Who.
No.
I know
I'm
Jared's going to keep
definitely
watching The Last of
not
Us because
watching Doctor Who.
he's a soy boy.
I don't want to watch Last of Us, but if you make me, I will. And if I can get access to Andor, I did want to watch it.
That means I have to put 3 episodes up on my drive every week. We're gonna run out
No,
of space.
I will find a way to watch it.
I hate to
It's
post
just a
so
lot.
much.
I need to watch 6 episodes for next week. Then That's
I
a
liked
lot
his
of
character in the
episodes.
first, and then you just, like honestly, like The Force Awakens could have been the start to something great.
Yeah,
I love the beginning.
You don't have to make a lot of changes to The Force Awakens for it to be a good starting point.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You can't. The worst part about it is that Luke is just gone.
Yes, exactly. That made
For no
absolutely no sense.
Because there is no good answer to that question. And that's why I put more of the blame on Force Awakens than I do on The Last Jedi, because that was my answer. When the trailer dropped, before The Force Awakens came out, I told all of my friends, anyone who would talk to me, that the plot to the whole series was going to be that Luke has become disenchanted with the Force. Because the only thing we knew was, where's Luke? He's gone. And I said, that's what the plot's going to be.
Yep.
And it wasn't answered in the first movie. It was asked, where's Luke? I think that that's the best possible answer to that question. I don't like it. That's not what I would do. But
yeah, I agree. It was a big
Last
misstep.
Jedi had other problems.
A reunion of all 3 of the main characters.
Yeah, no, it's not good. There needed to be a little bit of vetting, maybe a little bit of torture before they accepted. But I really like Finn. I like the idea of Finn.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome.
Finn's introduction was
Stormtrooper
great.
defect. That's great.
Yeah, I think that's really cool, and I particularly love the scene where they grab the Millennium Falcon and they fly in it for the first time. I think that is fantastic.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't like the the compressor scene, but yeah.
It's a bite compressor.
The compressor. I bypassed the compressor by tearing it out. It's kind of symbolic for Disney Star Wars.
That's a good point.
But anyway, so Jared, you're going to keep watching The Last of Us, right? I assume you're not stopping watching that.
Yeah, I'll probably keep watching The Last of Us.
I don't want to, but like I am like morbidly curious about The Last of Us. Like I would be done.
Yeah.
I'll also probably keep watching The Rehearsal, which was really good, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I forgot.
You said that was up, and like I need to watch that instead of
The Rehearsal is back.
Yeah, it's back.
And I knew it was happening because all of my videos got hit with copyrights from 3 years ago. I got beep, 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 like 5 notifications because there's only 6 episodes and like one of them didn't get flagged. They're like, hey, your episode is no longer monetizable. And I was like, I think we're getting season 2 this month. And it was the next day. So I didn't even get to like text you guys and say like, hey guys, we're getting season 2 real soon, because it was I didn't even get to be prophetic, right?
Wow.
No, it's really good. I watched the first episode, and it is definitely on par with last season, if not
good.
Already starting really good.
You saw that on Netflix.
I loved the first couple episodes of season 1, and then it didn't really deliver on
there was
what it should have been.
Yeah, but that was COVID's fault. And
Right.
what it okay.
Exactly.
It didn't
What it
deliver
morphed
on
into was
I agree.
fine.
It didn't deliver on the promise of episode 1.
Yes.
But what we got was better.
What we got was really good.
It was interesting. It was definitely interesting.
But now
Yeah.
he can do more episode 1s, but I think he's going to do both. I think from what I don't know. I can't imagine the amount of money that he put into episode 1 of season 2 for the amount of payoff we got from it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, it is an insane episode. I actually didn't love the episode because it was just so sad. Like it's not a very funny episode. It's mostly cringe, which is his brand of humor. It's always cringe has always been his brand of humor, but this one was rough. It was really hard to watch.
Wait, so did you watch it then?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
It was so sad.
I mean, it kind of was, but at the same time,
it's hilarious.
Times where I was chuckling because I was like,
"No, it's good." I'm
awkward
not saying it's bad, but like I just felt so bad the whole time. I was like, I can't. It's so hard. Like it's funny, but like I want to cry.
Oh, I agree.
Because this poor guy.
It was
like,
so awkward though.
I felt so bad for him. I didn't want to laugh. And but he put so much money into his flight simulator thing that I think that this is going to be a through line for the whole episode, while he also does short spin-off stuffs.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, because I was definitely getting that this was kind of this season.
It could just be a one-off.
Yeah,
but I do think we need more season 1 episode 1s of just like one-off things. But I would also like if in addition to that we get a through line for the whole season like we did for season 2, because it was a good through line in season 1.
In season 1, yeah, and I think we will. Like that's kind of how I'm seeing it. Is I'm seeing that as being more of a through line.
I heard no. Like I am not making like it was a legitimate excuse for this show. The whole premise was he had to interact with real people. It's a fake reality show, kind of.
Yeah.
No, it's like a prank show mixed with a reality show mixed with
like research, like it's like legitimate research
mixed with like a flipper show. Like we're gonna buy this home and flip it, you know?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And
I think that's a good script,
like right? They filmed the first episode of season 1 and it's fantastic. And it was supposed to be a bunch of one-offs. This is a different person each episode. And because COVID happened, the episode 2, from episode 2 to 6, it's following one. They're doing the same thing, but for 5 episodes instead of just 1 episode. It's still good, but it very clearly did not deliver on the promise of episode 1.
Right.
But that's over now.
But that's the thing. Like episode 1 of season 1 specifically was like, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do these things.
And then they didn't do that because they couldn't. Yes.
But this season, they didn't say anything about that. It was just like, this is my question, and I want to solve this question.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think it's going to be more of the through line, because I'm like,
if you don't know the premise for the show, it's Nathan Fielder. Okay, if you don't know who he is, you need to watch Nathan For You. Watch all of it. But if you just watch one episode, you'll get the joke. Okay, Nathan For You is it's a fake flipper show. If you ever watched The Prophet or Kitchen Nightmares, okay, or Hotel Hell, or any of those shows where they find a business, film them for a week, help and flip it and help them out. Okay, he does that, but his ideas are bad.
Yeah,
and it's real people, and it's horrible. The intro is I graduated business school with really good grades, and it shows his report card, and it's like C's and D's,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm going to come in and help this business, and it sounds like when he does a really good job though of not actually damaging the businesses though.
Right.
Like he'll try and pressure them into doing stupid things. And sometimes they say yes. And even when they say yes to his stupid ideas, like he insulates them. Okay. And there's an idea in like season 3 that is so horrible that it's the fake Starbucks, right? The dumb Starbucks.
Oh, yeah.
He does a parrot. He goes to a coffee shop and says, the reason you're not popular is because Starbucks is more popular. So what you could do to get more customers is become a parody of Starbucks and call yourself Dumb Starbucks, but make the dumb really small so that people come into your store thinking it's a Starbucks and then get your coffee. Okay? You can't do that. But under parody law, under fair use, you could get away with it. It doesn't work if you're trying to trick them into thinking it is what you're parodying, right? It's called Nathan for You. The new show is called The Rehearsal. Okay, I'll get to explain. You have to explain the roots before you explain the expansion. Right. Okay, it is an expansion. The Rehearsal is, you can't explain it without knowing what he does first.
I mean, it's so interesting.
So in that episode, he tries to convince the coffee shop owner to do his idea, and he's like, "Isn't that going to get us sued?" He's like, "No, because we'll get away with it." And then when he actually agrees to it, so that the guy doesn't get in trouble, he cuts him out. He says, "No, my idea is too good. I'm going to do it without you," and cuts him out. And he actually does it. He opens up Dumb Starbucks and makes local news stations everywhere, makes fun of the news people for not vetting their stories. Like, it's incredible, okay? But other simpler ideas. In episode 1, season 1, he goes to a frozen yogurt shop and says, "Hey, to get more customers, we'll do a crazy idea. Let's make a poop-flavored ice cream." And the guy's like, "That's really bad. No one would eat it." And he goes, "Just try it for one day." Okay. And then he gets plants, to come in as customers and stuff. So like he's actually really good at actually in real life helping the businesses he's screwing over. But the show presents it as just like, why would you do that? It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And The Rehearsal, in a very similar vein, is like doing that, but to people instead of businesses. The Rehearsal is, hey, I have a bunch of money and camera crews at my disposal. It's kind of a spin-off of one Nathan For You episode. It's kind of a spin-off of his Bachelorette episode. It's the same idea there, where he's using his resources to help himself. Like, I want to get a girlfriend, so I'm going to cast myself as the Bachelor and date a bunch of women so I can get over my phobia of talking to women. That's what The Rehearsal is, but for other people, for real life, not actor people. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure is episode 1 someone looking for a promotion or looking how to like
season 1?
As an example, I don't think this is in the show, but he's like
tell his mom something or something like that.
Yeah, but he's working with other people. So like, if you have someone who's afraid to ask for a promotion, he'll set up a rehearsal asking for a promotion.
Well, and the crazy thing is,
people
literally
pretend to be their bosses, study them for a week so that they know their mannerisms, and recreate their office as a set, and then have that person practice asking his boss for a promotion. It's hilarious. Don't give me Z's, Mark Clark. It's a hilarious show.
Well, I'm excited for this next season, because literally the whole time, like, you're like, okay, this is an interesting concept to be thinking about, but then you're like, oh, this is so awkward. Like, this is so awkward.
Way too much research, like real life, actual work about airplane crashes, for it to just be a one-off. Like, it's crazy.
I know that's
I don't know.
Well, and it's the way that he presents it, because he literally is like, And I attended this lecture, and you have to make sure that you do it in a way so that you don't like scare him off too soon. So you got to present your research in a way that seems compelling. And
he is an absolute genius. Season 1 is incredible. Season 2 just dropped. I think we get new episodes on like Tuesdays. Is anyone playing Oblivion Remastered? I don't really buy games new. I wait till they go
do,
on
but-
sale like 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 years after they release.
Yep.
So
Usually
I would just now be playing OG
The original.
Vanilla Oblivion.
Yeah.
There are
I
very
want to. I
there
have
are
not,
very
but I
few
want to play it.
games. I ended up buying Shadow of Mordor like
Well, that's a good one.
on release because I really was excited for that game and it was really fun. I didn't
Yeah,
buy
that
the
was a good
sequel on release. I got that one for free actually.
Shadow. of
And I mistakenly paid for Battlefront 1 on release.
Yep.
Instantly regretted that decision. Expedition 33 looks interesting.
does.
I've heard Oblivion looks good. I don't like that they removed gender from it. I know that that's literally just one screen and it's not in the rest of the game.
They removed gender from Oblivion?
Yeah,
They-
instead
they
of
didn't
choosing between
remove
male
it.
and female, you choose between type 1 and type 2, which is just male and female.
Yeah.
They created a mod to replace type 1 and type 2 with male and female like the original game. That mod got removed from Mod Nexus, and then there was backlash, and they brought it back up, but they disabled comments.
Yeah.
Wow.
You're playing OG Oblivion, yeah. It looks
Yeah,
really
I
good.
actually really want it. Yeah.
If it goes on sale, I might pick it up. But
Got to
Yeah.
fit it in the budget.
I really like
I just-
Morrowind, the previous one.
the gaming industry, and Jared is absolutely guilty of this. Is
I know what you're going to bring up. I know it.
Jared still buys every single Assassin's Creed game.
Oh, every single one.
On
I haven't
release.
got the latest one though, but every single Assassin's Creed.
And
basically.
like they continue to just Jared is in an abusive relationship with Assassin's Creed. Okay? For some reason, he played Assassin's Creed 3 and decided to still keep going.
Yeah.
I know. I just finished. I just
I
finished.
get it
see-
though. Like Assassin's Creed was my 1 and 2, my
1 and 2
favorite
were
games
amazing.
of all time. I played
Three was
3. I
absolutely
played
abysmal.
3 and have not gone back since. It was
I
Four was
I
actually
tried-
the best one.
I tried
And
playing
that's several
Black-
times.
everyone
because
said
Black Flag is
pick
really
up Black
good.
Flag. It's so pick up pick up Black Flag.
Yeah, I do agree. Black
Um,
Flag is really good, but I never finished it because I was so burned out on the third game.
Yeah. I'm definitely a big AC fan.
I didn't finish Black Flag.
Gamers have an addiction to buying new games.
Yep.
And they continue to get abused by unfinished releases and just like garbage games that they just keep you don't learn. I don't understand it. It's almost as pernicious as wokeism is gamers who just refuse to stop buying new games.
Yeah. Not just buying,
after they've been
pre-ordering games.
beaten by their ex-wife every single day. They just keep going back to get pegged by these gaming companies. And I've been, and I don't even buy new games, okay? But like 1 out of 2 of the times that I bought a new game, I got screwed. So I don't do it anymore.
I don't
Okay?
think I've ever had
I
a
wait
experience,
for a year
frankly.
and I wait to see all of the people complaining, and then I decide, nope, I don't need to worry about that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't think I've ever
Or-
been disappointed.
If it's been a few years, then I'll pick it up. Like I was very tempted to buy Elden Ring on release, but I didn't.
that
I
looks good.
actually waited
I
a
still
year,
haven't bought that one.
and I was going to buy it, and then my friend bought it for Christmas for me as a gift, and so I was like, well, yeah, I'm glad I can play this now. I wouldn't be opposed though to the idea of buying a FromSoft game on release. Like they've proved themselves to me that I'm going to enjoy their games.
That and Nintendo, but also because
So-
Nintendo games never go on sale anyways.
Even Nintendo, man, I'm not gung ho about that. I like them. I like them a lot, but honestly, I didn't put off buying Elden Ring on principle. I was too busy to be able to play. I knew that once I bought it,
That's part
that
of it.
would be
too,
my
yeah.
life for a month because I absolutely
Yeah.
love Dark Souls.
Like I wanted
Best
to
games
play.
ever.
I wanted to play Kingdom Come Deliverance, but I'm like, as soon as I buy that game, like that is gonna be all encompassing for months.
So I waited until
Yeah.
there was a time where I could play it. Played the heck out of it for a month. I haven't been able to go back. I want to go play more Elden Ring. I still haven't. Dark Souls is my favorite series of all time. I still have not played Dark Souls 3. Just 'cause I don't have time to play games anymore.
Yeah.
I'm kind of saving it. Like, I'll come back to it eventually. And, I'll treat myself to Dark Souls 3.
Yes,
you
Mark
know?
Clark. I need to get on it.
Well, I need to hop off, but
It's been 3.5 hours. So
it's
been a fun stream. Okay,
stream.
but the question was, what shows are we still watching? Okay, Jared's gonna keep watching Last of Us, so I'll watch that.
I will continue watching that too.
Consolidation.
I'll watch it.
Are you guys going to watch Andor?
If I can.
Yes. I don't have access to it, so
Neither do we don't either. Jared.
I know. I know. I won't.
Just look up. Just look up like
No,
Goku. Just like watch movies online for free.
I'm not gonna do it. No, I've done it before, and I'm not gonna. I'm done. I'm done doing it.
Use a burner PC, Jared.
No.
Burner piece.
So that one I don't have access to, but I will watch the rehearsal. So I'll watch the rehearsal and I'll watch Last of Us.
I'll watch the rehearsal, The Last of Us, and I'll keep watching Doctor Who if nobody else does.
All right.
I do. You should watch Doctor Who.
God be with you, bro.
Yeah.
The episode 1 was just. I mean, I was already done with the series, but like.
Yeah.
That's even like
it's
too
bad.
that's like too masochistic even for me. You know?
It's so tragic.
Here's the thing. I'm a masochist. I'm not a sadist. Okay? I don't want to put you guys through that.
Yeah, I'm volunteering.
So yeah,
I'm willing.
And we are not asking you to, Charles.
Yeah.
I want this to be very clear. Charles is just dumb. He's just going to watch it by himself. And then he's not even going to bring up the most egregious stuff on stream.
Okay.
So I don't even know why he's watching it.
I'm gonna if nobody else is gonna watch it, I'll talk about. I think I was saving that to talk about it with you guys when you had finally watched it. I don't know. I don't remember.
You mentioned those books last week, and I forgot to Google them. The Vorkosigan. This sounds
actually suggesting the first book.
This sounds completely made up. Is this the author is Verkosigan, or these? This looks like Catch Me If You Can. What is this? This isn't even in English. Falling Free. Is this the book 1? The Verkosigan.
Book 3 or 4.
The Verkosigan saga. What is this? Lewis McMaster Bujud. What is this? Science fiction? Okay. The covers are very bizarre because some of them are like postmodern, like minimalistic, and then some of them are like traditional sci-fi, like really cheesy. And I was like, I'm getting extreme whiplash. I'll play Conan Exiles tomorrow night. I don't know if these guys will, but I'll be on.
I don't think I will.
Shards of Honor is the first. Gee whiz. What? See, I don't even know. It's even hard to find this.
Well,
yes.
Chronologically, Dreamweaver's Dilemma.
Yeah, but you don't read chronologically. You read in release order, David.
I'm looking.
I got into. I just got into an argument with my 9-year-old son today about which is the first Chronicles of Narnia book, and he said, "No, Dad, the Magician's Nephew is book 1. See, it says so on the book." And I slapped him in the face. I said, "You will not speak that way in my house." You understand? And I beat him within an inch of his life. And I said, "Don't you dare say that The Magician's Nephew is book 1. You scum. I raised you better than this. Magician's Nephew is book 6.
So you're on with Mark Clark now, reading books out of their proper order.
No. I will beat you. I will come over to your house. I will come over to your house and I'll beat your kids too. Okay?
Book numbering doesn't lie, bro.
No, that is I hate that for some reason every publication of the Chronicles of Narnia puts Magician's Nephew as book 1. It is not book 1. And if you read it first, it won't be good.
Yeah, it was good.
No, it's a good book, but
you don't understand the
ending of that book is only good if you've
If you
read the other
understand-
books.
It's true. If you understand the
I will poop in your hamper.
Is this
All
what
bad.
is this the story at Mark Clark's? Okay.
The dream.
You gotta. It was such a good dream. It was so
wow.
bad. It was horrible for
Wow.
me. It was a horrible experience for me, but I knew that it was great for everyone else involved, so I had to share the story.
I see. Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to end it there.
Okay, see you guys. We'll see you guys next week with more of this garbage, less pooping, hopefully. I can't control my dreams, okay? Bye.
We'll see. I guess.
Yeah.
And now it is time to say goodbye.
We had a great conversation.
It's been fun. But all good things must come to an end, and the goodest ending I can think of is...
Right now, this moment, this night.
So I guess we just say goodbye.
So, goodbye.
Toodaloo. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Ciao. Ding dao day. But come back next week for more outrageous bloopers.
This is the end.
Well, there's only one thing left to do.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If it's true, please take a minute to subscribe to the channel, and you can join us along for the ride. And if you pay me, I'll try to be more entertaining. So please consider joining Patreon and getting your name in the credits with pride.
I'd buy that for $1.